What's going on, my friends? Sorry for a little bit of a wait. I had to update permissions. I had to switch accounts that I was pushing live to here. So, hey, anyways, first of all, I'm very, very thankful for you guys taking the time to do this. I'm actually very excited. This will be very much worth your time. And this whole, let me come over here to the comments. I'm gonna make sure I've got them opened up as well. This is not meant to be just a. There'll be periods of time where I'm interacting, and there'll be periods of time where I'm acting like you're not even there, okay? So I'm going to come over to the side and make sure we got everything set up, which we do. Come over to the comments if you will, whether that's down below. We're streaming to Facebook. We're streaming into YouTube. What's up, David? How you doing, man? Hey, so we're streaming all over the place, and go over to where the comments are. We are actually watching, we're monitoring, and we're seeing you guys. We're seeing what's going on. Come over and just say, like, what's up, how you doing? Love to see how many guys, what's up? Okay, you guys are jumping on now. Love it. And sorry for the little bit of a delay there. I had to... Eddie, how are you? Christopher, what's going on? Ty, how are you? How are you? Forex changed my life. How's it going? You like the Capital Speak background? Yeah! Okay, I'm glad you like it. Hey, thanks for taking the time. I'm very, very pumped for this. Waiting for your next offer. Hey, sounds good, Christopher. Matt, how are you? Danny, how you doing? Okay, you guys, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to jump on in here. And this is meant to be very interactive. And so I've done this in the past, and the way that it runs, and I've mentioned this in the past as well, but the way this runs is I am going to address you guys for a little bit. I'm going to talk for a little bit, and then I will stop, and I'll act like you... Sorry, guys, I got something in my eye. I'll act like you guys aren't there. It's not that I don't love you, okay? But what I'm going to do is I'm going to act like I'm at a studio recording the course itself. And so... this particular course, I've actually already filmed small chunks of it over in an actual studio. But what is going to be more valuable, I feel like, is if we're gonna watch some of it, and then what I'm gonna do is I will pause and I want to comment on a few things as well as we go. Okay, so. Plan on this each session. They're honestly going to be about 2 hours. All right. I'm going to go deep. I want to teach everything I know about these topics, and this should be exactly like you're at an actual event with me here. Okay. So let me go ahead and what's up, man? We got a lot of you guys on here. Glad it's my lunch hour. Yeah, that's right, Anna. How's it going? This is so crazy. It is crazy. Very excited you guys are here. Hey, first of all, before we go ahead and get started, this whole thing is titled Hidden Downline Masterclass. Okay, so Hidden Downline is its own thing. This is the Hidden Downline Masterclass, where I am pausing and making additional commentary on the actual course itself. So I'm pumped to dive on this. Before we actually get into it, though, I actually just want to know who's ever been in network marketing ever. Now, fair warning, okay? At the beginning of this, I just need to understand I'm going to be saying network marketing or MLM synonymously, because online and frankly they're pretty much the exact same thing. We just call them something different. There's a lot of interesting reasons behind that. Okay, but they're pretty much the exact same thing. We're all commission-based salesmen, and none of us get paid unless we sell something. And when we get other salesmen under us, we get a cut of their sale. All right, that's almost the exact same thing as affiliate marketing, except that you can't legally have 3 tiers. Once it is, it's technically a network marketing thing. So go over to the side. What's up, guys? How you doing? Thanks for the yeah. Hello, give me all your products. Sounds good. Let me know how many guys are all in one, and then I'm gonna stop in just a second here, pause, and then I'm gonna dive on into this and act like you aren't here. Okay, you're in your 5th company. Sounds good, Rick. Matt, how's it going? What's up? Been to one of those weird meetings. Never signed up before. It's all good, and I will. I had a weird experience in my first one. I will never badmouth the industry. I love the industry. It's great. Been there, ditched that fast. Oh, you just gotta learn how to do it. All right. Now, if you guys want to know real fast, let me just sidebar for just a moment. I am in network marketing because it is a thing that grows consistently for me because of some things I'm going to teach you, and then my wife and I use that cash. We just let it stock up, and it goes and buys cash flow assets. Okay, so for me, it's part of my long-term plan. What would happen to her if something happened to me? She could not replicate this, so I have assets that just keep building up cash. We bundle it together, and we go buy another income-producing asset. And over and over. That's the strategy. So for me, like, it's smart, in my opinion, to do it that way. So I am very, very pumped to go through this with you guys. I'm going to pause for a moment, though, and we're going to dive on in here. I got quite a lot to cover with you. Some of these concepts if you guys have been like hyper followers of mine, you may have heard before. And some of these concepts might be completely brand new. And a lot of this, though, I've never really found anyone else teaching this in the context of network marketing. So I'm going to go ahead and dive on into this, and I'm very, very pumped for it. So, okay. Just wave my arms so we know where to edit. This is where we're starting. Okay, here we go. So I'm actually going to, for just a moment, I'll come back to your comments, but I'm going to act like they're not here for a little bit, okay? All right, here we go. All right. I almost said the Sales Funnel Radio intro. Okay. Make sure they got the right mic on. Sweet. Okay. Boom! What's going on, everyone? It's Steve Larson. Welcome back to the Hidden Downline Masterclass. Very excited to have you guys on here with me today. We got a lot of you here, and I'm excited to share with you how very simple tweaks that I've made so that I can actually grow a downline while I have my own real business that I focus on. So the biggest thing I want to tell you right here at the beginning is to tell you the fact that I'm selling my own things. I have a real company that I go and I run, but on the back, I have grown this downline, and to date, it's over 2,200 people that have applied to join my own downline, and I want to teach you how I've done it, because I don't spend, in fact, this is probably the most time right here that I have spent on the downline in quite a while, and so I'll come back and revisit it like every 6 months and be like, hey, where is stuff? But it's really becoming a powerful asset for my wife and I, because I take the cash that pops up and starts to stock up, and then we go in and it's actually part of our investment strategy for kind of the long term. So and it's great. And so that's why it's called Hidden Downline Masterclass. The hidden downline. The reason it's hidden is because I'm not out talking about it. I'm not out walking around telling people. I'm actually a little bit against that, and I want to teach you guys the very first lesson that this has to do with, which is it's all about choosing the who. Okay, and that's what this is about. That's why we're doing this. It's all about choosing the who. And it's all about choosing the right who. I know that, just like you know, that it is definitely important to choose a company that you stand behind the product with. But success in network marketing, success in MLM, whatever you want to call it, those would be synonymous, has very little to do with the company you join, has very little to do with joining at the ground floor. In fact, I'd say it almost has nothing to do with that. Has very little to do with, frankly, a lot of times the product that you sell. Now, those things do matter incrementally, but it's standing on a foundation of the things that I'm going to walk you through during this Hidden Downline Masterclass. So I'm very excited to walk through this. I myself have been in network marketing for, I don't know, probably 6-7 years now. And how old's my little girl? Yeah, about 6 years. Okay, when we found out that my wife was pregnant with our first little kiddo, we were so excited. We were very pumped. We were trying to have a kid. We were excited to bring a little one into the world. And suddenly it hit me like, oh my gosh, how am I going to pay for this little munchkin? You know what I mean? Like, how am I going to pay for this kid? Right? At the time too, like, and whether or not you think like, oh, that doesn't sound very smart to do it that way. At the time, it's not like we weren't making bukus of money. I was like, man, we're making it as a couple, but barely. Oh, now we got to add a third little human being on. So for me, network marketing, I went into it because I wanted it to be this real asset. And this buddy called me, and I told him, I was like, you know what? I'll join it as long as it helps me pay for the bills for my little one that's on the way. And it was about 6 years ago now. And he goes, okay, sounds good. Yeah, sounds good. You'd be a great fit. And I was pretty reluctant at first. Anyone else? All right. I'm not trying to be like negative. I'm not trying to smash it all. But it's the way that it was done where the biggest issues happened. Okay. So what happened was I went and started doing everything that my upline was teaching me to do. And I'm not here to make fun of that. I'm not here to make fun of anybody and the methods that are taught. But what happened was this guy in my upline says, you want to be successful in MLM, right? Well, you got to do what successful people do. Doesn't that make sense? And what he did is he had me sit down and write out, he's like, what successful people in MLM do is they take their phone out and they write a big old list of their friends and family who is going to be a good fit, and then they go out and they 3-way phone call me in to introduce them, and we take care of it from there. And I was like, all right, I mean, if that's what they do, then why don't we model successful people, right? And how many guys have done this? Again, not making fun of it. I ended up doing the same thing to people in my downline that I started recruiting. All right, but it doesn't work very well. I ran into this little problem. What happens when I stop running? What happens when I run out of leads? What happens when I run out of the people that basically my my warm market, right? So I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna share my screen here. I'm gonna just draw right here. Okay, the big question that I had was I don't know how to get like when warm market is over. Okay, warm market. Once the warm market is completely dried out, now what? Right? That was the biggest. How many of you guys know what I'm talking about? Because that's the biggest issue right there. Is I don't know what to do after that key moment. Who else do I talk to? And how do I find more individuals to come speak with? And that was the big question that led me and kind of got me on this whole quest. Well, around that time, ClickFunnels came out, right? And ClickFunnels, it was in beta. So it just barely left beta, and it all of a sudden hit me like, what if I was to go in and I bet I could solve some of these problems for those people in my downline? I never thought at all that I would become like a network marketing guru, right? That's not, I don't even know if I'd consider myself that at all. But you understand, like this was never like my intention to like set up here and do this kind of thing. I just started setting up and pursuing this thing that has really worked very well. So I want to teach it to you. Okay. Now, the one thing I'll tell you is that as I started going and recruiting people and bringing people in, I had to start trying to solve this big problem here. And the big problem was, how do I find more people to go sell? And so I wasn't willing to give up. I was like, I don't have anyone else to talk to, right? You know what I could do is just be a person of action. I'll be a man of action, and let me just go take action and do ludicrous, ridiculous things. So I went and I started walking down Main Street, and I literally started recruiting businesses and people directly off of Main Street. And it went okay. I started recruiting more people, but the problem was that I just kept handing off the same broken system. When they ran out of warm market, they had nothing else to do. And a lot of people just didn't do a lot, right? So today what I want to do is I want to walk you guys through how I choose who. I want you to know that this problem right here, okay, of how do I find more people, it's not a question, first of all, of how do I go find more people. In order to answer that question, the first thing we need to answer is, who do I want to get? And then it's really easy to find them, okay? So what I started realizing was that, I don't know, about 6 months after I was walking down Main Street, I just got frustrated. And I was like, this is dumb. This is terrible. I've offended some friends and family. And if that's what it takes to be successful in this, I am not going to have any part of it. Anyone? Okay. I had the exact same, that's what I said. And I was like, I can't do this. It's going to be terrible. It's not worth it. And so I remember it was about 2 a.m. and I was sitting on our little apartment freezing couch in the middle of winter. I was still in college, and I was reading this ebook. I still don't remember I remember the guy's face, but I don't remember the ebook or his name. And I should go back and find it. But anyway, I started reading this ebook, and all of a sudden it hit me. I never thought to ask myself, why am I walking around talking to friends and family who are uninterested? What are real network marketers doing to recruit people? And I started changing the question in my mind, right? And instead of asking, how can I find more people? I started saying, well, what are like the big dogs doing, right? What are the top earners doing? Top earner activities. And what happened was I started watching them and started observing them. And I know a lot of you guys have heard this, but what I started finding was that almost none of them are doing home meetings or hotel meetings. Almost none of them do phone meetings or go to malls. What they did have, though, was funnels and websites and lead gen activities. And they had, it was third-party, they were assets that they had created that had nothing to do with their MLM. So when you came and you got their book, right, or something like that, you came and you got their book, like, oh, sweet book. You go and you get their book, and they drive traffic first to that book, which got them a list. I'm going to draw like a little bucket, right? List. It's a list of people who bought, of buyers, all right? Then they took the revenue from the book itself and they dumped it back into ads, and now this little thing was just churning out people, right? They didn't make a lot of money from it, but instead what they were doing is they were building a list, and the list would grow, and the list would grow, and the list would grow. From that, then they would go in, and they would approach and call these other people. Okay, gotta move this thing a little bit. Okay, they would approach and they would call these other people, and send an email to them or message them. And it was those people on the list that they started pitching. And because of that, they had this never-ending stream of people to go and pitch. I was pissed because that is a very different model than what I was being told to go do. And that is a very different model than what we're taught to go do in general network marketing, right? It's not a thing. And in fact, a lot of times you kind of get dissuaded from going and doing something like this. How many of you guys know what I'm talking about, right? I have definitely had people in my upline throw mud at the fact that I showed them this, and I was like, this is what they're doing. They're not walking around. They're not walking around saying, hey person, hey person, hey person. That sucks. That means I have to be the messenger. That means I'm not duplicatable. That's not a duplicatable system. You can't clone me. What I can do though is I could write a book and I could show my people how to drive ads, right? And I could build a list. And then I could go and I could start approaching these people who are on the list right there and ask them to come join the downline if they want to. Does that make sense? Very different model. And it blew my mind. And I was so pissed. I was so mad at this whole thing because I felt like I had been taken. I was like, why don't you teach me the real thing? If this is the real thing, teach me the real thing. And I found out instead that a lot of times uplines are not y'all know what I'm talking about? I got a few likes on that guy there, right? What I found out is that there's a lot of people in uplines, right? Like you get the 2, then they get the 2, then they get the 2, right? Then there's a whole bunch. So I'll tell you why I'm doing what I'm doing right now. Is because I found out that as I go and I started talking to the people who were, at the top about this, they don't really want me to go showing this. And I found the reason is not because it's like, oh, this is terrible. It's against the law. That's not it at all. It's because they have no idea how to do it. So they don't know how to train on it. And because of that, it gets poo-pooed even though it's a better model. Okay? So I was like, well, crap, man. If I'm going to go influence the MLM market, I can't do it by going to these people at the top. Okay? And so instead, what I've done and why you're on with me right now, right? And why you're watching this right now is I actually started focusing on the little guy. Instead of going to the MLMs, I'm going to focus instead on the little guy. I'm going to focus on those of us who may not be top earners yet. Now, since I started doing that about 5 years ago, 4 or 5, the idea came 6 years ago. I really started executing about 5 years ago, and it really started working about 4 years ago. I got all the kinks out. Right? I'll be real with you. There were kinks, right? I was kind of making this up. It didn't work at first. And so what I had to go do was make a lot of tweaks and things like that. Since then, though, since about 4 years ago, since this all started happening, big people who have a more open mind and are willing to learn started hearing about it. And that's why whole MLMs have adjusted and transferred into this model now. And I've been approached by major, very top shelf, you all know their names, MLMs, about this stuff. And this is the reason. And it's because of that. So anyways, what I'm going to teach you guys, I'm going to share with you guys in Hidden Downline Masterclass is not only the fact that there's this new model. Oh my gosh, heaven forbid we use the internet in the internet age to grow our businesses. Stupid that's like, no, anyway. So I'm going to show you how I've done this and how I've done it without putting my MLM in jeopardy, without talking about my MLM, without doing anything that's against the rules of Facebook. Right, that's really what this is about here, and all of it starts at the who. Okay, so I'm gonna clear the page here, and I'm gonna just continue to reopen up tons of new pages. Okay, so I'm just gonna go and go. Okay, so that's what happened, and so while this model got more crystallized in my head, and I realized that this is what all these big guys are doing. Right? Tell me different. Tell me that that's not what the big people are doing. I dare you to go look at your company. I don't care what company you're in. I'm not here to recruit you. I'm here to change the model of the whole market. All right, and bring awareness. Okay, so I dare you to go look at your top earners in your company and start looking around, and you'll start seeing that there's a few people in there who understand this. Maybe not exactly as I just drew it, okay? But they understand that if they were to create their own book or their own free download or their own little piece of whatever type of lead gen, it actually lets them drive traffic there. It lets them pass that thing around, and then they no longer have to walk around saying, who wants to join my downline? Okay. It actually attracts people. It's funny, the term attraction marketing is so huge in this industry, but the only style of attraction marketing that people really create is themselves, right? I don't want you to do that. That's not the purpose of this. I am not here to say, in fact, we're going to talk very little about this. I'm not here to do a lot of adjusting. Here's the secret sentence. Here's the little phrase that gets people jumping in and joining your downline like gangbusters, right? That's not what I'm talking about at all. I'm not actually talking about you doing a lot of, right? Anyway, what I'm talking about you is making something external that's over here on the side, right, that has nothing to do with your MLM. Don't say the name of your MLM. Don't, right? And legal disclaimer. Everyone feel disclaimed, right? Okay, we all right? But that's the whole key, is to go in and create something that's external, and that's what Secret MLM Hacks was about. It's no longer publicly available, okay? My opportunities have changed, okay? But that was about. It was how to create this thing in the front so that you could get people coming to that, which build a list, and it was different strategies on how to do that through paid advertising, through evergreen style advertising, and then you build the list and then follow up all the people afterwards. And it works really well. We had a lot of people grow their downlines by the hundreds and the thousands in a very short amount of time doing this. So it works. We know it works. We know it's awesome. So anyway, what you have to understand is that, you guys good so far? I'm going to shift gears for just a moment here, and I want to teach you really fast what every business needs. All right, when you go out, let me think how to address this real fast here. It took me 34 tries to get a business to work over 5 years. Now, not all of those tries were network marketing, but there are patterns though throughout all business. And so what I started doing is I started realizing that there is. In fact, let me back this up right here real quick. Bam, 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 bam. There we go. Okay, check this out. All business needs 3 things. Okay. All business needs 3 things, and I want you to keep in mind the model that I just taught you. Okay, real quick here. Okay, and this is the model. Okay, I'm gonna call this well, we call it an SLO. It's a self-liquidating offer. Okay, check this out. So the model is that, first of all, I'm gonna go create something that's not me, that I can drive traffic to. This is why my team is so unique. It's because I pre-built all this stuff and I just hand off the same stuff to them. Okay, so I drive traffic to a thing that's on a page that's mine, that has nothing to do with my MLM, but the product has a lot to do with network marketing. And so when somebody opts in and they put their email in underneath, it drops out and puts a list on them. Boom, right? Really cool list. Buyers / people who opt in, right? And fortunes in the follow-up. Same thing is true with network marketing, right? Then I go and I pitch them. Okay, so that's the model. That's the new age network marketing model, right? Anyway, all right, check this out. So that's the model right there. Now, keeping that model in mind, you have 3 business roles that you have to solve. You have 3 business questions that you have to solve. Okay, so I want to introduce this to you, and then I'm actually going to read a section from a book. First of all, hopefully you guys are enjoying this. Hopefully you're taking a lot of notes, and you're seeing that this is no different than any other business. All right, because businesses have 3 needs. Now, there are varying opinions on this. There are various teachings. There are people who say it's more than these 3. People say it's less than these 3. Okay, but my personal opinion on this is that all business has 3 needs. And unless you can do these, right, you're going to be dancing just a little bit here. It's going to get a little bit hairy for you, okay? So I'm going to go in, and here's the 3. First of all, a business must be able to generate consistent leads. Okay? The business that does not have consistent leads dies. Case in point, if you can't get leads for your network marketing, right, you die. When your warm market dries up, no more leads, die, right? Business must be able to generate its own leads. So ask yourself, right? Rank yourself right now, 1 to 5. 5 being the highest. How good is your lead gen? Right? How good is your lead gen? And are you involved? Because you need a system that does this for you. Okay? So I have the lead gen system. Here's a system right here. System that's out there 24/7 just creating leads. Right? And we're doing it by that model right up here at the top. Okay, right here, what I was talking about before, right up here. Bam, leads. Go to the top of the box. Okay. All right, the next thing. So every business must be able to generate leads. The second thing every business has to do does not matter if it's network marketing or not. Doesn't matter if it's right brick and mortar or if it's an internet company. Doesn't matter. All business needs to get the leads. And second thing, they have to be able to convert some of those leads. Sales, right? They have to be able to sell. If you can't sell, you're gonna die. It's funny. I feel like one of the largest misconceptions new entrepreneurs have about entrepreneurship is that entrepreneurship is not sales. Entrepreneurship is full-time sales, okay? Being an entrepreneur is a sales position. You are a salesperson. Welcome to one of the most prestigious, amazing, life-changing things you could ever be in this entire planet. Okay? Please take pride in the fact that you're a salesperson. There's nothing wrong with that. But it's so funny what we're taught in school. Like, oh, you couldn't get a job, so you had to become a salesman. Oh, you should seek to be a salesman. If you know how to sell, you're going to be able to do anything in this world, right? Be a salesperson. When I was in college, I realized that I wanted to be an entrepreneur. And because I was listening to Robert Kiyosaki said, if you can't sell, don't be an entrepreneur. Okay? Don't be an entrepreneur. And so what I did is I sat down with my wife, and this is actually how I got into door-to-door sales, because I told her, hey, I need to learn how to sell. Are you okay if we go take this summer? We're going to go travel to a different city, and I'm just going to try and sell the whole summer. I told her, I was like, I want one of the toughest mental environments you could ever conceive to be a salesperson in, so that I really, really learn sales. She goes, are you serious? I said, yeah. So I went and I signed up for a pest control company. That's how I got into my second year in sales, was that. Okay? And I learned how to sell. And all the rejection, and the door slammed in the face, and people calling you the names, and bam, 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 bam. Half the training is just learning how to deal with that without it breaking you. Right? So I went and I learned how to sell on purpose in a crazy environment like that. Right? And then I came back, and I didn't feel like I was done, and I kind of tasted the goods of what it meant to be a salesperson. And I didn't have enough, so I went into telemarketing, and I became a telemarketer. And we were selling business owners a really cool texting software that was on a browser when that was kind of new. Okay, so it's crazy. Okay, so anyway, so I did 2 summers of door-to-door sales, and I was a telemarketer, and it was because I kept trying to choose this. I mean, can you imagine like a worse thing to go do sometimes? But it was for that very reason. It's because Robert Kiyosaki said in one of his books, if you can't sell, don't be an entrepreneur. Okay, so you need to be able to generate a lead. Second of all, you have to be able to convert a portion of the leads. It's unrealistic to convert everybody. And if you are, you're probably not getting enough leads. Okay. So second of all, right, you got to be able to sell a percentage of those leads. Okay. Now, the third thing you need to be able to do, and you might laugh at this, but a lot of people don't design this, and because of that, they get broken. The third thing that people have to be able to go do is fulfill. Okay. And if you can't fulfill, don't sell. And if you can't fulfill, don't try to get the lead, right? That'll destroy your reputation. So that's the last part, is fulfill. Now, I'm not talking about, here we go. Now, I'm not talking about just fulfill as far as your MLM product goes, all right? Because how many guys are getting leads right now? You're getting leads right now in your network marketing business. You're selling a percentage of them, and your company is the one who's shipping out the product or the service or whatever it is that you're doing. Great. Right? That's definitely part of it. But the other side of the coin I'm talking about, so the other side of the exact same coin, is can you fulfill on this? Okay? That. Can you fulfill on the new business model, whatever it is that you go create? It's funny, I've had a few people get really frustrated with me that I'm teaching this, because they'll be like, Steven, are you saying that I need to go out there and I need to create my own little product like this? Like, well, only if you want to like really sell. Only if you really... Anyway, yeah, and it's not actually that hard. It's just new. And if something feels just like so insanely difficult to you, just remember that. It's not hard, it's new. It's not hard, it's new. It's not hard, it's new. Okay? And that's true, and that's one of the things I do to kind of trick my brain into doing things that are really nerve-wracking. Because most of what I do now, I've never done before. And that's how I do it. It's not hard, it's new. I've just never done it. So it seems hard, right? It's like riding a bike. My little girl, we were trying to teach her how to ride a bike. We took the training wheels off. She freaked out. And she went nuts. And it's because she, is new. And I just kept telling her that. Don't worry, it's not hard. Like, watch me. And I get on my bike and I'd show her. It's not hard. It's just new for you. And that's okay. Same thing. It's just a new skill set. Okay. Now, I want you to understand one piece with this that is so insanely key. In fact, I started drawing it here early. And I probably shouldn't have. Okay. This is one of the biggest, most key things that you guys can take away from this right now. How can you do this model? Can you fulfill? So I'm going to pose a question right now. Your network marketing business is already teaching you these three things, right? They're just teaching it with really weird mechanics. You're going in, and are you getting leads right now? Yeah, you are. You are getting leads. You're getting leads. But how are you getting leads? By talking to family members and friends, right? What's the cost of you talking to family members and friends? I'm not talking about the awkwardness that can happen, and I'm not making fun of that, but it's a reality, right? We can be real here. I would rather be open and honest with it. But what's the cost? What is the cost to you? What does it cost you to pitch a family member or a friend or someone on the street, or just anybody? What is the cost for you to go do that? All right, check this out. Oops. I was trying to write with the eraser. Okay, here we go. Time. Okay. So if I go out and I start pitching you to join my downline, it costs me, let's say, an hour. How much time is the average home meeting, you think? I mean, what do you think it is? The average home meeting has got to be way more than an hour. I remember the first time I ever did a home meeting, a guy came over, someone in my upline also came over, and we were talking, and it's about an hour and a half chat. And it's only because I think that the guy that came over, who I invited over, he's not a very talkative person. Okay, but it's still an hour and a half with the pleasantries and the hi, how are yous, and so we're talking about an hour and a half. Okay, now I just want you to think about this for a second. Okay, this is a certain type of time. I call it one-off time. It's not duplicatable. But 2,200 people have applied to join my downline in the last 2 years. Just the last 2 years alone. Okay, I'm actually going to pull up my ClickFunnels account real quick here, and I want to show you guys something that's pretty cool. Okay, because you need to see this and really grasp what I'm talking about. This is why this works. So I'm going to go over to, I'm going to share my screen just a moment here. Let me just pull it up. This is the funnel that I use to ask people if they want to join my downline. Right? And anyone can join, but I still have them kind of apply so that I can vet it out, right? Think about it. It's not like colleges let every applicant in either. Same principle, okay? Same principle. So I'm teaching some stuff here, some base knowledge, and then I'm going to cut over to part of a training as well here. So anyways, let me back this out to the last year. In the last year, here we go. Let me apply the filter here, and let me share my screen. All right, check this out. You see some. So this is just the last year, okay? Yeah, okay, check it out. In the last year, I see my mouse right there as well. This is the joinmydownline.com funnel, okay? And in the last year, 7,000 people have seen my pitch. I had 1,400 kind of go through the NDA. And then because of the follow-up sequence that we have, which takes them directly to the apply page, it doesn't look like it should go in order like that, but it's because there's a really strong follow-up sequence. 1,800 people in the last year have filled out the actual app, or have gone and done the application itself. Okay, in the last, you see the dates right up here, December 13th to December 18th, 19, 18, boom, right there. Okay, does that make sense? And so we go in and obviously we follow up with those people. And we have a pretty strong follow-up system. Now, the reason I'm bringing this up here, this is not for me to tout around or say like, look at all the stuff I'm doing, right? That's not what I'm saying at all here. I just want you to think about this. 7,000 people have come to this. 7,000. Now, I ask you, let's go, let's just say that I kept my home meeting short and I had pitched 7,000 people. And let's just say that I had 3 people per home party meeting. I'm not amazing at math, so I have 7,000 divided by 3. That's still 2,300 people. That's 2,300 hours in a year. Okay, does that make sense? 7,000 people. Let's say there's 3 people per home party meeting, right? Divided by the 3 people per home party meeting. That's 2,300 meetings. And let's just say that it's 1 per hour. 1 home party meeting per hour. Let's say I kept it short, so it's 2,300 hours. Okay, so I just want to just illustrate a pretty strong point on this. 23. Let's go 365 times 24 hours. Okay, there are 8,700 hours in a year. So there's 8,700 hours in a year. 8760. Boom. That means I need to be spending, right, about a fourth of every single day pitching over and over. 3 people at once. Okay? 3 people at once. If it was just someone with 1 person in my home party meeting, that's almost every hour that there is in a year that I would have to 24/7 be pitching somebody with a home party meeting, continually doing my presentation over and over and over again. Do you see the power of what I'm talking about? I do not spend one-off time. I do not spend. So every time I had somebody come up to me and say from an upline, hey, why don't you come in and start doing, I'm like, no, I'm not going to go do a home party meeting. Nope, I will not do a phone meeting. And it's not because I'm trying to be offensive to those that I'm going out to. I'll talk about that in a moment. It's not that I'm out there. It's because it makes no sense when I can do this. You feeling me? Right? I'm spending a fourth of every day, like every day for a year, pitching 3 people a day like that. Right? Now, if you can do that, oh my gosh. And honestly, the old school guys used to go build like that. Right? That's how they did it. Is they go out and they build old school, and it's like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm not throwing rocks. I'm trying to show you the very strong opportunity cost that comes with continually doing home party meetings, phone meetings, 3 phone calls, walking around in the mall. Can you pitch 8,700 people automatically? All I do is record my pitch and I put it on a page, right? And I put it to those people who've come right here and are getting this thing that I'm sending traffic to. And I get a are you getting this? And I send that page to the people who are on this list now. I now have I'm controlling my own source of traffic. Right? Because of that, the leads are huge. That's just this funnel, by the way. There are 30,000 people on my list who like and have interest in and are around the network marketing machine. And I ask them very softly. In fact, I don't actually even reach out. They have to come to me. Right? And I'm like, hey, do you want to join? Right? I only ever say that after they come to me and say, Steve, I want to join. I'm like, sweet. Come here. And this is the result of that. Okay? So, again, please don't take this as showboaty or whatever, but the thing that I will not do in order to create leads for my business is I will never spend one-off time. It's just not worth it. It doesn't make any sense. And I'll show that to you also as I go, right? The other kind of cost that I could go spend, so that's the first kind of cost. You with me still? The first kind of cost is one-off time. The second kind of cost, if you can't spend your time, right? The saying is, if you can't spend money, you need to be able to spend time. So if you can spend money on leads, more power to you, right? So it's actually money. Ad money. I will be able to pitch so many more people if I can spend money up here on my traffic. Okay, mostly all the people that I just showed you to, that 7,000 people, I don't really spend ads to that. That's all the side effect of my other activities and people asking to join. And I'm like, sweet, yeah, if you want to, here's how to do it. You got to apply though. Okay. Are you guys getting this though? Like, is this actually making sense? I'm hoping that you're feeling this and like, holy smokes. And first of all, I hope you're also taking notes. Okay. So I could spend ad money. And if you're like, Steven, I can't spend money on ads. I get it. But eventually what I want to be able to do is this thing right here. I'm going to go sell. I'm going to sell. And like I said before, I'm going to take that cash and I'm going to roll it back. That actually is funding the ads. So my audience, I never spent $1 of my own ever on my own ads. Ever. It's always been business money. And the money has always come by me selling something. And then I take that money and I roll it right back into ads. And what does it do? I get an amazing byproduct, the incredible asset of not spending off one-off time. And I get this list. That's the key. I get the list. And the list gets big. And then I start pitching the people there. Boom, 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 boom. You feeling me? So if you can't spend money, I get that. Then you need to be able to spend time, but not one-off time, which leads us to the third cost. Okay. Last thing I'll say about ads is that if you can only spend like $5 on an ad before you start losing money, like let's say this thing right here is $50, right? This product right here. How much money can I spend in order to acquire a customer? $50, right? $50. Because as soon as I spend $51, now it's coming out of my own pocket. But as soon as that's $50 and someone buys, it self-liquidates and goes right back into ads. Generates the next list. Bam, 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 bam. That's how the whole thing works. And it's super easy to pull off. How many of you guys know, hey, wait, I could pull that off, even though you don't know all the mechanics yet? I get it. And that's what I'm here to share with you guys as well, is the strategy and show you how we really play this game. You want to know how Russell Brunson was the top network marketer in 2 companies at the same time? You're in the course. Okay? I'm showing you right now, man. This is it. Because we know network marketers don't know a lick usually, and I'm not making fun of you, but the industry as a whole has no idea about paid advertising and the power behind it. And if I can spend $50 a day to get somebody to acquire a customer, right, and start building my list, I can spend $50 a day to start growing that list, and you can't spend anything, and you're spending one-off time, I'm going to crush you simply by the numbers, let alone if my pitch is better. My pitch could be worse, and I'll still dominate you. And it's because of how much noise I could make. It's just the reality, right? And so what's powerful about this is like, okay, Steven, I can't spend money on ads because I don't have any money in my pocket. That's fine. That means you have to spend time, but don't spend one-off time. There's a second form of time. Okay, and it's this right here. Second form of time is this. It's time, but it's I call it repeat time or duplicatable time. This is true duplication right here. Okay, repeat time. Okay, so repeat time allows me to pitch all these people. Like, let me come back to my screen here real quick. Okay, this is what happens though. Okay, right, that's repeat time. I remember this funnel particularly, it took me probably a week to build, but it was like a 9 to 5 day, and I didn't spend all hours of that day either. So let's say that it's took me 30 to 40 hours to build. Let's just say it's 40 hours. Let's say I spend 40 hours to build this sales funnel where people go in and they apply, and these are the steps, step by step by step by step. I only put a 40-hour investment in this. That's why it's hidden, man. It's a hidden downline. That's exactly what I'm talking about right here, okay? Is because now I don't need to be the one going around and saying, hey, blah, sales message, blah, sales message. You keeping your options open? Same sales letter, taking the pitch and being the delivery method myself. I'm not doing that. Now it's a page. All I do is I have a page. I say my pitch like I was in a home party meeting, but now it's on a page. And instead of me being the delivery message deliverer, I'm going to come over here and I'm going to send traffic to this as well. In fact, I'd probably send the traffic I would send would probably be the traffic that's coming from right here. Okay, so they buy, they get on my list, and then once they're on my list, then I'm like, hey, do you want to? If you're interested, bam. And now I got a machine that's self-liquidating, sending in traffic, and sending right back here. Self-liquidating, sending traffic right here. And I can be louder, I can say more, even though I'm not the one doing it, than like almost, I spend more money in advertising than most MLMs do on their own MLM, right? Their own network marketing HQ products. That should tell you something. It's really very blue ocean to go dominate in this space because of that. That's one of the reasons why I love playing in this game. Okay, so anyway, so there's one-off time. Now, in order to play this, though, you need what I did draw down here before. I let the cat out of the bag a little bit early, though. Okay, in order to actually play this game, though, the way you do it is a system. Now, I have a system that does that for me. Now, we call it a sales funnel. Okay. How many of you guys have a sales funnel right now? Just go inside, let me know. If you guys have a sales funnel right now, that's awesome. Meaning for network marketing, for your downline itself, for the purpose of recruiting. We don't, and one of the questions I get most frequently with this as well is like, well, Steven, does this work for product? Yeah, absolutely. I can't put my MLM's product on a page very well without going through compliance and several other things, which I do, right? But most MLMs, like if you're like, oh, Steve, I'm part of an MLM that's going to have a hard time with that, then don't do it. Follow the rules, right? Facebook hates me driving traffic to my network marketing thing. They won't let you, so don't, right? If I got Facebook over here and I got my network marketing business over here on this side, I'm the intermediary. But what does Facebook not want? Facebook doesn't want me to say the name. They don't want me to say network marketing. They don't want me to say MLM. They don't want me to. So I can say things like Downline, which is why this is called hidden downline, right? So I call it Join my downline.com. All right, I can say that kind of stuff because downlines are part of way more than just network marketing. But to the industry, they know that word. So I'm going to come over here and Facebook's like, you can't send traffic to that, right? And I'm like, oh crap, I went too far on the page. There we go, network marketing. Okay, so what do they want? Facebook's like, well, you can't. I don't want you to send traffic. Zuckerberg's like, I don't want you to send traffic to that topic, so don't. Right? I'm going to send traffic to this page. Right? This page right here. This is the page I'm talking about. I'm going to send traffic to that page. That thing. But it's not going to be related to my network marketing company because on this side, they don't want it to say, they're like, don't use our name in paid ads. You're representing us. That freaks us out. So don't. I don't. Right? Dunzo. Right? That doesn't mean I can't play on the internet. We do. Just spent $301,000. We just crossed $300,000 in paid advertising doing the exact thing I'm just sharing with you right here. And it's because of this. I just play by the rules. Don't try and find the line and get as close to the line as possible. Just play by the rules. That doesn't mean you can't, that you're unqualified from playing though. So I know it feels like I'm drifting a little bit from finding the right who, and I promise I'm not, but this is like foundational to how I operate in the space. It's completely different than what we've all been taught. You can use the internet. Just play by the rules. Network marketing companies like, oh, you can't, blah, blah, blah. So then just don't. And what you do is this product right here is your own thing. It's not related to the MLM. It's not related to something Facebook's going to freak out about. But it's still for the network marketing industry. It's still for those who love MLM. It's still for those. And so when they see it, they go, I want that. That generates the list. And now I can pull them off of Facebook and pitch them. All right? And send them to my application and do exactly what I was just sharing with you guys right here on this. That means I can send them to this. That's why there's been no paid advertising to this page, because I don't think I would even be allowed to do that. You guys getting this? This is like a massive deal, what I'm showing you right now. Okay, massive deal. And I know I've been going for a little bit here, but stick with me as I keep going through this, because I want you to see how all three of these key things come together. But none of this works without finding the right who. So I'll get to that in just a moment, and I'm going to show you some qualifiers that I have with this. I'm actually going to share my screen. We're going to watch something together that illustrates this, okay, and the opportunity that we all have here. Okay, so I'm going to go in and let me delete this here quick. Okay, so I have a system for that. Okay, next, sell. So every company needs to be able to sell. Now, I did kind of just go through it just a little bit. As we're talking about sales, the first thing you have to understand is that, like I said, I actually don't lead with my MLM's product. I don't lead with my MLM's product. I don't lead with my network marketing downline opportunity. I don't lead with that stuff. Just because of the exact same thing that you all know about. Like, oh, I can't do it. Then don't. I keep saying that because I don't want someone to think I'm saying like, hey, find the line, man. Run it as close to the edge as you can. No. Please don't do that, all right? All right, so check this out. So we have here, what I want to do first of all is, if you don't have something you can sell, you can at least have something you can give away. If you're like, Steve, I don't have anything I can give away. You want to know the biggest hack to this? Interview someone who knows what they're talking about, turn it into a PDF, and ask people's email in exchange for the PDF of it. Pretty easy. Now you don't have to be the guru. Just interview a guru. Right? By the way, I'd be totally happy to do that. That's why I'm dropping it. Okay, so I'm going to go in and either a freebie or something that's sold. Ideally, it's something that's sold because we're under the sales section. Okay, we have something that's sold, but the whole purpose of it, the goal, is to break even on ad costs. Okay, we want to be able to spend money on ads. Your goal is to be able to spend money on ads profitably. Right? I'm telling you that so you really hear what I'm saying. Steven, I don't have any money to spend on ads, so I'm going to spend my time. I'm going to spend repeat time. That's great. That's great. Go build those things up. But your goal is to get to paid advertising because that is where big leagues happen and you can outdo uplines, okay, like that. All right, so I have break even. Break even is the whole goal, and what you're trying to do is break even on your ads. Okay, now I just walked through that just a little bit on that, but anyway, yeah. These two right here, they're not as new for people to understand, so I'm not going to spend as much time on them as I did the first part there. Okay, the second one is the third one is fulfillment. All right, and fulfillment happens in multiple ways. Now, when you think about it, so these are the three core structures of any business. But I want you to take a moment and just realize what we don't have control over in the MLM space. I remember one day I was sitting back and I was thinking to myself, like, it's amazing that really we're all commission-based salesmen in network marketing. And frankly, it's like we have no ownership in anything. Okay, I want just real fast, I want you to think about the three things you actually do control in MLM. Okay, in network marketing. Okay, because you have zero control, no say at all on the product. Okay, you have no say, zero control on, frankly, your downline, right? It's rented. Could they take away your downline? Yeah. Hopefully you're not spending a lot of one-off time on it because it could be taken away. You see what I'm saying? Okay, your downline, you have no control over that. You really don't. You hardly have any control over commission levels. You're like, well, I could control commission by leveling up. I get that. I could rank. Like, okay, but you still don't control the amount per rank. You have zero say in that. You have very little say in branding, if at all. You have very little say in messaging, but there is a part of that you do control. I just want you to clearly understand what you don't control in network marketing, because you don't control much. So what do you control? All right, now this has to do with the fulfillment game and why it's so powerful, because you don't control much at all. What you do control, there's really three things that you control. You control who you talk to, who you speak with, because you don't want to talk to everybody. I'm going to talk about that in a moment here and tell you some criteria on how to choose who you go to. Okay, who you talk to. Number two, you control what you say to them. All right. I know I just said you don't control messaging over there. I'm talking about general company messaging though. Okay, this is your actual pitch. The pitch itself, you actually do control that. That's one of the biggest things you do control. I can go in and I can control what I say and who I say it to. And then the third thing you control is once somebody joins you or buys your product, you actually do a lot of controlling on the training. That's one of the things that network marketing gladly hands to its members. It says, hey, go train the people. But sometimes, I'm not saying always, but sometimes there's not a lot of, in fact, most of the time, there's not a lot of education on how you should go train those people. Okay, so check this out. So number one, I control who I speak with. I control number three, what I say to them. And the third thing is I control how I train them. Okay. And so what I do is I wanted to, now I put this under the fulfillment category because when somebody joins me, I wanted to go in and I wanted to create a system to train my people. That way I could tell where my system broke rather than saying something different to everyone every time and not knowing why something's not working. Does that make sense? I was actually hanging out with Russell Brunson yesterday. I think so. Yeah, today's... yeah, it was yesterday. So I went over to ClickFunnels yesterday, and I was hanging out with Russell in his office for a little bit, and we did a really cool Facebook Live. I'm doing a training to the whole ClickFunnels community tomorrow night, which is really cool. I'm really pumped about it. And he wanted to promote it. So he said, come on over. I live about 3 miles away from ClickFunnels that way. Just right there, so you can see. It's right over that way. And one of the things that he and I were talking about was network marketing and training and how we train people and fulfillment and all that kind of thing. And we were talking about how, with network marketing, one of the, anyways, I've shared this with him in the past. It's like, think about this for a moment. Why is there such a strong focus on systems and processes and frameworks? This is what I told him yesterday. I said, when you think about it, I just got a new truck, which is really exciting. I won it, actually. It's from being a ClickFunnels affiliate. And I told my audience, and I told, I think you guys, I told some others as well. I was like, hey, think about this. Why can Toyota, it's a Toyota Tundra, right? Now imagine you walk into the factory. You walk into the factory where they're manufacturing Toyota Tundras, right? And you're sitting there and you walk on in and you're taking a tour, and suddenly you walk in. And this very awesome truck, I think it's awesome, you walk in and you look through these glass windows at the assembly line, and there's all these noises and there's sparks and all this stuff flying around, and you walk on in and it's like, oh my gosh, this is so cool, and you're seeing all these right? And you're seeing these slow-moving cars happen while everyone's popping stuff on, and there's machine arms swinging around and sparks happening, right? Like, I mean, it'd be so cool to go check that out. And you walk in, and suddenly you are shocked to find out that on the assembly line, the workers are nothing more than teenagers running this whole thing. Now, is that an exaggeration a little bit? Yeah. But are there? Probably. Why can someone like Toyota put teenagers or people who are very not experienced, or let's say someone didn't go through any higher education, why can they do that? I want you to hear me clearly as I say this. All right? This is what he and I were talking about yesterday. Okay? Process is stronger than talent. It's because Toyota has an assembly line. They've got such a strong system that the worst driver on the planet can go in and just follow the checklist. Their system is so strong. The business is the system. Fulfillment is the system. And that's why it's detrimental for everyone when they don't have a system in place for these things. They don't know how to measure it. You have no idea how to measure it. You have no idea what's wrong if something's not working. You have no idea what to go tweak. Stop spending one-off time. Cut it out, right? You're actually killing your ability to build a long-term business. You're killing it because there's nothing for you to hand off. You're going to make something that's truly duplicatable. Not if you're not passing off a system, or unless you happen to find more hours in the year for you to spend more one-off time training all of your people. So about a year ago, I was like, I want to make a really strong training system to fulfill on all the things that I'm teaching my downline. When they come in, I'm not the trainer. The system is the trainer, right? I'm not the lead gen, right? I'm not the funnel. The funnel's the funnel. I'm not the salesman. The funnel does the selling. And I'll tell you more about how I pull that off as well. All right? You guys getting this? I cannot emphasize this point enough. You have got to create a system or you will not go anywhere with this. All right? I feel like I haven't even gotten to the topic yet. All right, here we go. But you have to understand this foundational stuff because I treat it very differently than, I don't know. There's not really anyone else who does this part. Okay, so check this out. So what I want to do is I want to create a system to fulfill, a system for training. So that being said, that I go and I can control who I talk with, which I'll talk about in a moment. That's up here. I control what I say to them. That's also up here. That's why it's such a big deal. I'm also I control how I train them, and for me that's actually over here as well. What I say to them is actually part of the sales part of it. Okay, what I say to them is part of the sales message and sales process, sales system, I'll call it. All right, and then how I train them, that's actually part of the fulfillment piece right there. So those are the three things you control, but they actually intertwine with the three functions of any business. And when you treat it this way, what's powerful about this is that you move from having a network marketing opportunity that it is a hobby into something that's an actual business, that's an actual asset, that's something like I've built where it's a real working machine, there's an assembly line happening. I'm not telling you to take the human element out of this game, but you can still have a system, still have a process, still have an assembly line for each one of these things that lets you measure how things are going and stop being such an operator. It lets you own a machine instead of be the machine. And that's what I'm trying to do here. And that's what I'm trying to teach you here. Okay, that's the big takeaway with it. Okay, so I control who, I control the pitch, I control how I train. Okay, so I'm gonna back this out real quick here because there's two parts to this that I want to tell you about. I created an automated onboarding for my people every time they join. Okay. And so I'm going to back up real quick here and tell you real fast how the system actually works. So I've got a system for the lead gen. And now here in the sales part, the sales piece right there, the sales part is interesting because now we have leads coming in. Steven, how do you close them? Well, what I do is I've got this downline, right? And these people coming on in. And I've got people and they've got people. And please understand, I'm not trying to be rude here when I say this, but there are people who are kind of the all-stars, the people that can spend more time. Maybe they're in a place in their own life right now where they can go and spend more time, full-time maybe even, building up this asset, right? It's like, oh, you know what? It's this person right here. It's this person right here. And this person right here. Those three oh my gosh, they're rock stars. They're awesome. I have about 10 identified in my own downline right now. Okay, this is something that I do. Okay, this is how it works. Well, I have about 10 awesome rock stars in my downline who are more full-time. And so what I do is every time a lead comes in from the system, it notifies one of those 10 people. Okay? And the lead automatically, because it's an assembly line and it's automated, right? And I'm not the funnel, I'm not the system, I'm not the runner of the system either. I just own the system. Okay? The system itself, what's cool is that the system goes and it takes the lead and it assigns the lead to one of those 10 people. It's a gift. Thanks for being a rock star in my downline. Hey, what I'm going to give you right now is I'm going to automate. If you're willing to do this, I need you to, every time one of these notifications comes in, as soon as it does, call them. All right? Because as soon as you call them, that's somebody who's asked to join my downline. And you can close them and say, sure, absolutely. There's a very simple phone script that they use. Okay, very simple phone script that they do over the phone, right? It's very easy. And what I did to kind of arm one of these 10 people as well is I created a video introducing each one of those 10 individuals. And so I say, hey, what's up? Hey, I saw you applied to join my downline. I'm very excited for you to be in. We really do review the applications, by the way, so don't think I'm making something up as I say this. So this is what I say. What's up? I saw you applied to join my downline. We've gone through and reviewed your application, and we'd love to have you. You'd be a great fit. Now, just beware, you're joining my downline, but you're actually joining so-and-so underneath me. I'm trying to grow strategically. I'm trying to grow with intent, and because of that, you're still joining me, and you're going to get everything that I promised you before. I'm just going to put you underneath so-and-so. Okay, so his link or her link is right below, right here. And in fact, they probably sent it to you with this video. And then all we need you to go do is make sure you join at the top, because we require that everyone goes and joins at the top. It's very hard for you to ask other people to join at the top if you don't. Okay. Plus, it unlocks other additional commission levels and other bonuses you're not going to get otherwise. So go ahead and join at the top level that you can. And then third of all, come on in, and what you need to do is go to suchandsuch.com. It's an actual URL that I'm not going to say right here. Suchandsuch.com. Screw it. Okay, it's HackMLM. Go to hackmlm.com, and what I want you to do is go create a free account right there. Your profile's been tagged, and you're gonna get the full training, whereas the public only gets access to like the first 2 weeks or whatever. Okay, that is what you do the first 30 days, so that you actually get the same system you just been through put inside your own downline. Okay, that's it. So I created 10 videos for each of those 10 individuals. Bam, 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 bam. They follow the script. They go and they join the person's downline, which is joining me and growing my team, right? And then I walk them through what to do. Go join at the top. Okay, we ask everyone to join at the top, and then the third thing we do is I have them go join the automated fulfillment onboarding 30-day sequence that walks them through exactly what to do. And by the end, they've actually picked up the exact same system that I actually handed to them, or that they just walked through. Does that make sense? That's how it works, and that's how I've done it, and it's been actually works quite well. That's one of the biggest reasons why I can wake up and be like, so and so joined a downline, so and so joined a downline, so and so joined a downline, and I'm like, sweet, right? And I'm not following up with them. I'm finding those people who are actively wanting to make this their full-time business, which is great, and I just kick leads to them. And then I hand the same systems that I recruited them with into them. So now they're getting leads from me and leads from the system itself, and then we do it again, and it's wildfire, because people don't get this. And it's very powerful. How many guys are like just like pooping a brick right now? Like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. Like, this is insane. I can't believe this is how you actually do it. I'm just pulling back the covers, baby. This is how we do it, right? and anyway, so let me come, and I'm actually going to. So there's a system for this. It's written. People know it. There's a person, there's a process, and there's a tool involved with each one of these three. Bam, person, process, tool, and the last one, onboarding, person, process, tool. That's actually where I automated the actual. The public does not have access to most of that. They only have access to like the first like 2-3 weeks or whatever. It's just so that you guys can see kind of what we're doing, and frankly, it's a recruiting tool. So don't go there unless you want us to follow up and pitch you like crazy, because we will. Okay, so I'm just telling you that that's what it is, though. So what we do is it's a 30-day sequence to walk people through their first 30 days as a member in my downline. And then what happens is they get onboarded not only in just like, think about how much stuff you got to educate somebody on in order to really know what's going on in your own network marketing business. I mean, think about it. You got to teach them about the product, the comp plan, what events are coming up, how to talk about it, what you can and can't say, what the thing is made of, whether it's a product or a service, right? There is vernacular galore. Like, oh, network marketing is the worst for like technobabble. You got to teach them some of the required parts of that, though. I mean, it's not an easy thing to go do to onboard somebody. So I was like, so what I did, really part of that 30 days training, is I went and asked people in my upline to come on in, and I did a few interviews, people who know more than I do, right? Let's get them to say it, right? Then that's just part of the sequence that onboards somebody on. So they're getting onboarded not just in the company itself. They're getting onboarded in the marketing that my team uses, which includes like the systems and stuff that they just walked through. And then the second thing that's happening is they're actually getting onboarded as far as like the actual network marketing HQ stuff, bonuses, and turn it on at this time. You know what I'm talking about? Anyway, so that's what's happening, right? So there's a strong system on this one as well. Okay. Now, is this making sense to you guys? I mean, because this is like system. That's why what I do is so unique, and that's why people follow what I've done, even though it's very on the back end of what I actually do. Capitalist Pig is my brand. I'm the offer guy. We build people's funnels for them, not network marketing. This is just something I set up and runs and builds and grows and poops out cash, and then we take it and we go buy income producing assets with it. All right? Pretty simple. I'm generating leads through other really cool things out there. Other people are closing them, and we've automated fulfillment onboarding systems that hands things over to them. A really amazing group that they get a part of, but none of it involves me. And because of that, it's a very strong asset. The only thing that I've done consistently to just continue to get leads coming on in here is there's a podcast that I've had historically called Secret MLM Hacks Radio, which has also been stopped, or will be soon anyway. And that brought in leads. Other various things I promoted for ClickFunnels that had to do with network marketers. I mean, there's just like a few small little front-end things that we did, but I'm not very involved at all. And because of that, that's how it's happened. Okay, that's the system. So what I'd love to have you guys do is go ahead and drop in any questions you guys got, or comments or whatever. I'll certainly reach on over and check those out in just a moment here. But I actually would like to shift gears for just a moment. In fact, you know what? I'll come back to those questions at the end, because I want to make sure that you guys get them answered, and it is important to me that you get them answered, and I will address them. However, for just a moment, for just the time being here, I actually am going to shift gears, and let's stop for just a moment. I actually want to share with you guys why this is such an amazing opportunity still. A lot of people ask me, I've been stuck in a pyramid scheme for a year. Is it really, or are you just having a major false belief around what MLM actually is? Okay, check this out. I'm going to share with you guys a video. Now, if you don't know much about me, I was the lead funnel builder at ClickFunnels for about 2 years. And then I was like, Russell, dude, I got to go. I'm sorry, but I got to go. And I told him I needed to leave. And it was one of the hardest things I've ever done. And he shockingly, this shows how cool he is also. He shockingly was like, I get it. Go for it, man. Do it. I was like, all right, sounds good. So I left and started building my own stuff and doing all these things, and it's been amazing. But I've actually become pretty obsessed on what old school dead marketers have had to go do in order to have success, like in general. Like, what would you do? Just imagine with me for a moment. Like, you wake up and you're in a little village, right? You wake up and you're in a little tiny village, and the internet does not exist, but you're still an entrepreneur, but you don't have the power of the internet. What would you do? I mean, this is not an easy thing to go, right? The internet is a blessing, but it's also a crutch, because a lot of us have gotten lazy. And so what I wanted to do is I wanted to go back, and we actually found a video. The internet became publicly available in 1991. It was being used by the government for the military purposes before that. But in 1991, that's when it became publicly available. So this video I'm going to share with you guys, they believe was made in about the 1970s. And this is a guy, his name's David Ogilvy. Now, if you don't know who David Ogilvy is, he is an animal. He's basically like the Michael Jordan of advertising. He's been called the father of advertising, okay? which is like an insane title to have. He was one of the first people who actually researched human behaviors and used it in his advertising. Now, in this video, he's getting older. I believe he died in 1999. He was born in, he was born in 1911. I got notes all over the place. That's why I'm looking all over. Okay. But what's cool about David is that he started seeing things like the credit card coming out. He started seeing these things like computers, and he was like, oh my gosh. And he had a whole career where that stuff never existed. And so this is a video of him talking to us in our day about this kind of thing. Okay. This is huge. So I want you to watch this. I took this from YouTube. This is an actual video of him. And then what we did is it was like 6-7 minutes long. So I shrunk it way down. And then we put subtitles on it just to make sure that everyone can see it here. Okay. So check this out. I'm gonna move my mic a little bit more closer to the speaker here and make sure that you guys got this. Okay. So I'm gonna flip my screen and play this here real fast. Okay.
In the advertising community today, there are two worlds. Your world of direct response advertising, and that other world, the world of general advertising. These two worlds are on a collision course. You direct response people know what kind of advertising works and what doesn't work. You know to a dollar. The general advertising people don't know. You know that headlines and copy about the product and its benefits sell more than cute headlines and poetic copy. You know to a dollar. The general advertisers and their agencies know almost nothing for sure because they cannot measure the results of their advertising. In print advertising, they opine that short commercials sell more than long copy. You know they're wrong. They indulge in entertainment. You know they're wrong. You know to a dollar they don't. You inhabit a different world. The chasm between direct response advertising and general advertising is wide. On your side of the chasm, I see knowledge and reality. On the other side of the chasm, I see ignorance. You are the professionals. This must not go on. I predict that the practitioners of general advertising are going to start learning from your experience. They're going to start picking your brains. I see no reason why the direct response divisions of agencies should be separate from the main agencies. Some of you may remember when television people and agencies were kept separate. Wasn't that idiotic? I expect to see the direct response people become an integral part of all agencies. You have more to teach them than they have to teach you. Direct response was my first love, and later it became my secret weapon. Whenever I look at an advertisement in a magazine or a newspaper, I can tell at a glance whether the writer has had any direct response experience. Nobody should be allowed to create general advertising until he has served his apprenticeship in direct response. That experience will keep his feet on the ground for the rest of his life. You know, the trouble with many copywriters and general agencies is that they don't really think in terms of selling. They've never written direct response. They've never tasted blood. Until recently, direct response was the Cinderella of the advertising world. Then came the computer and the credit card, and direct marketing exploded. You guys are coming to your own. Your opportunities are colossal. Insist that all your people, creative, media, account executives, that they're all trained in your direct response division, and make it a rule in your agency that no copy is ever presented to clients before it has been vetted by a direct response expert. Ladies and gentlemen, I envy you. Your timing is perfect. You've come into the direct response business at the right moment in history. You're onto a good thing. For 40 years, I've been a voice crying in the wilderness, trying to get my fellow advertising practitioners to take direct response seriously. Today, my first love is coming to its own. You face a golden future.
You face a golden future. I love that. Okay. Is that awesome? That is pretty darn cool. Okay, that is pretty darn cool. Your opportunities are colossal. Direct general advertisers know nothing for sure because they cannot measure the results of their advertising. Boom! Right there. Okay? System. Stop walking around pitching everyone who has a freaking heartbeat. Okay? Stop. There's no system there. You can't track it. You have no idea. You know nothing for sure because you cannot track the results of your advertising. That's the point I'm trying to make with that whole thing. I love that line. Okay? And what you have to understand is that this is the game that we all play. Direct marketers do. That is my actual profession. I'm a direct response marketer. And what I do and what I'm good at and what I'm trying to teach you to do here, I know a lot of you guys, some of you guys know this stuff, or at least the basics of it, or you've heard of it, and a lot of you guys have never heard of this before ever. Okay? What we do is we want, instead of approaching people with my network marketing thing first, but instead of approaching people with my opportunity first, I want them to have a micro commitment, some kind of small yes first. And the small yes is going to be to whatever bonus I create right here. It's going to be the bonus, right? Or some other thing that I go create that is external from my MLM. Doesn't say the name of my MLM. Something that Facebook is fine with. Something that social media platforms are okay with. But it attracts network marketers, existing ones, pulls them on into my world, gets them on my list, which is the real asset of any business, not the product. Okay? And then afterwards, I pitch them. Each phase has a system, and that allows me to really duplicate. That allows me to hand off the system to those people who are joining my downline or starting to sell my product. Okay? Is this making sense to you? Okay, now I want you to understand that this is one of the major keys. If I was to start over again, the first thing I would not do is go learn everything I can about the product. That hardly has anything to do with the sale at all. It's ridiculous. Okay, the other thing I would not do is I would not sit around and try to make big massive lists of friends and family. If I was to start over right now, the thing that I would do is I would think through what is it that everyone in network marketing is being taught that I know is wrong. What is it? Who is it that I want to serve? Who would be my dream recruit who would come in and just dominate the platform, right? That's the first question to ask. Guys, I walked around for 5 years trying to make 34 different businesses tries. 34 different tries. 34 tries over 5 years. And the biggest reason why those first 17 were real failures, the following 17, they started making money, but it was more like break even. The reason why those first few didn't work very well is because I kept asking and starting with the question, what should I sell? What should I sell? What should I sell? Okay. That is the absolute wrong question to start with. And it's the wrong question to start with, even with network marketing. Join a company because you like the product. No. You join a company because you can market it, right? Okay. The first question you should ask is, who do I want to sell? Who should I go for? Who is a dream customer? And once I get them to have a micro commitment of some small thing in the front, it's very easy to sell them into my next thing. I'm going to share my screen, or I'm going to hold up one of my favorite books here. Okay. We got a lot of you guys on live right now. I appreciate you guys taking the time. I promise I'll keep delivering here, and it'll be worth your time here. This is one of my favorite books. If you guys have never read the book Ready, Fire, Aim, it still applies to network marketing. Okay? If you've never read Ready, Fire, Aim, it still applies to MLM. Why? Because all businesses have 3 goals: leads, sales, fulfillment. Bam. Okay? That's why. And so I want you to understand that if you've never heard of this book, it's from his pen name is Michael Masterson. It's not his real name, but his pen name is Michael Masterson. This is from an entire career of small business consulting and the lessons that he learned at the different phases the business was in. So, for example, the first third of this book is really about going from 0 to $1 million. And so when I was going through my first $1 million, I hadn't made my first $1 million yet. That's the only thing I read. What are the activities that a business, because this is a business, not a hobby, and not a side hustle, and not something you just do on the side, right? What is it that my small network marketing brand new startup business needs to go do from the 0 to $1 million phase? Okay? Very shocking to see what just happens right here. Check this out. Okay, this is one of my favorite parts. So, from the 0 to $1 million phase, especially when I hadn't hit that yet, like as a whole, I really just focused on this. So anyways, page 118, one of my favorite pages of this entire thing. I was sitting on an airplane and my brain just exploded. I started writing notes all over the page. That's usually how I read books, when I read them. When I actually read them. Usually I listen to books. Page 118, I'm actually going to read something to you here right here real quick, okay? Although your primary focus should always be on customer service, right? Having a great experience for people. Your quantifiable goal as a stage 1 entrepreneur should be to acquire as fast as possible what we call a critical mass of qualified customers, which is the total number of customers you need in order to make all or most all your subsequent selling transactions profitable. Now, let's re-say this here because that's a little bit... Anyway, although your primary focus should be on customer service, your goal as a beginning entrepreneur should be to acquire as fast as possible a qualified mass of customers. Big enough, is basically what he's saying, and the amount of customers you're trying to get should be big enough to make all your subsequent or most your subsequent selling transactions profitable. Meaning, exactly what I just drew out here. I did not realize that. I grabbed this book right before I went live today with you guys, okay? Check this out. Although your goal should be customer service, helping people, being of value to people, your goal as a stage 1 entrepreneur should be to acquire as much as possible, right? This first real big phase right there. You're trying to do that, okay? Your goal is to acquire enough people to make all of your subsequent selling transactions profitable. Now, why do I say that? I know that's annoying, so I'm going to take that off. Okay, but why do I say that here? I say that because remember what we're not talking about in this little system I just drew? Your network marketing business. We're making something different in front of what you sell. We're making something different in front of your business. And what we're doing is we're driving traffic to that, getting a qualified mass of customers to make all or most all of your subsequent selling transactions profitable. That's exactly what I just showed you with my joinmydownline.com thing. Okay? People come ask to join my downline. I'm not asking them to do that directly. They're first being driven to things in the front that's liquidating my ad costs so that I get more and more people, and I'm talking louder than most MLMs do on the internet. And then the spin-off, there's this crowd of people that wants 7,000 people in the last year who are interested in my downline. And they come on in and they say, hey, I'm interested to make all or most all my subsequent selling transactions profitable. Does that make sense? This is not pitching. This is not pitching my actual MLM. Say not pitching my network marketing opportunity or the product itself. Okay, none of that is. This is a front end, third party, external thing to the actual network marketing, to whatever you're actually selling. Okay, so check this out. So let me come back here. You guys with me? Okay, this is big. So your goal is to get enough people to buy so that anything you sell to them next is profitable. Okay. Says, and if you've made your primary objective customer satisfaction, selling more products to existing customers who enjoyed their prior buying experiences with you will be relatively easy. So if they've liked buying, if you have a great fulfillment system of your own little thing that you've created, it's pretty easy to sell people to come in and join your downline. Okay. Now, just keep following with me for just a moment, okay? I'm going to read some of this to you. Hopefully it's not weird for me to do, but I think this is extremely valuable, okay? Once you have a good number of qualified customers, hundreds or thousands or however, whatever it is. I'm at the thousands mark, right? You'll be in a really good position where almost every new product you come up with will be successful because so many of your existing customers will buy it. Guys, the first yes is the hardest one to get. The first sale, the first purchase that they make with you. But once they do that, there is a monumental difference between something that's free and a $1. Okay? The amount of mental transformation, the amount of mental comfort that they have to get used to in order to come purchase from you is huge. And so I don't want them to cut their teeth on my MLM. I want them to stay in my downline. I want them to stay promoting. I want them to stay buying my product, whether it's customers or recruits I'm going for. And because of that, I don't actually want that to be the first yes that they give me. I actually want it to be the second one. The first yes needs to be the system I was just drawing for you. Make sense? All right, check this out. Let me keep going here real quick, just a second. Sorry. Check this out. Understand the dynamics of generating long-term profits through the development of low-cost high circulation products by selling upsells to this larger base. Okay, there's like no context in what I'm saying here. Let me explain what he's saying here. Okay, so my goal here is to. So one of the questions that people ask is this right here. Hopefully it's helpful, by the way. Anyway, give me a thumbs up or something if you guys are liking it here. But so Steven, what kind of thing do I create right here? What is this product? Right, this product right here. What is that on that page? Okay. So he just gave away a really key answer, and I'm gonna explain it instead of read it because it's not it's pretty boring to hear. Okay, it's a chewy book, great book, but it's a chewy book. It's like eating steak and bread. Okay, so chewy book. So what should I be creating there? What type of product should I create right there? He actually just gave away the answer. And I'm actually going to put it right here in the sales category right here. Your goal is to sell a low cost. Oops. Let me go find the actual color here because it's going to look weird. Okay, here we go. Okay, your goal is to sell a low cost, low price. Remember, price and cost are not the same thing. High circulation product. Okay, so what does this mean? Low cost. What is cost? What is price? Price is how much you're charging for your thing. Cost is how much it costs you to make it. So if I'm making a book, for example, right, that book might cost me $1 to print. I'm pricing it, let's say, at $10. Right, that's price, that's cost. Now, what does high circulation mean? Circulation happens when your thing that you're selling gets passed around to more than the person who bought it. So that's one of the reasons why we create books. It's one of the reasons I create podcasts and I publish so much. It's high circulation. People can pass it around. Low cost, low price, high circulation products. That is the goal for the type of product that you're creating right here. Okay, that's it. That's the big secret. It's been found that a book gets passed around as much as 8 times post-purchase. That nuts? A book, 8 times each copy. That's high circulation, man. Low cost, low price, high circulation, very high value too. Right? There's a lot of value inside of a book. A lot of value, a lot of perceived value inside of one. So it's low cost, low price, high circulation, high value products. And when I make that the small little thing that I'm selling that's external of my network marketing opportunity, what's cool is that a lot of stuff gets spread for me. Okay? A lot of stuff gets spread for me, and I don't need to be the one who's pushing stuff around all over the place as much. Okay? My whatever I'm selling has legs. It moves around on its own. It gets passed. People are like, what is this? All right, it's one of the major reasons why I put so much stuff out there for free. Guess what it's doing? It's high circulation. And it's not very costly for me to create. And the price is not very high, and a lot of it's free or not very expensive. And that's exactly what I'm talking about. And what that does is while I'm selling things like this, all it does is continually give me this evergreen source of leads over and over and over again. Okay? And I just go and I take those leads, people who want to, right? And I go dump them over to the people in my downline who are interested in selling for me, who are the rock stars. I tell them what to do. And then I have a system that goes and fulfills. Does that make sense? I built a business around my downline. And that's why this whole game works so well. High circulation. Boom. Okay. Make sense? Okay. Man, I was worried I wouldn't have enough to say today. Okay. Alrighty. Hey, what I'm going to do is we're actually going to change gears again. Okay. So I'm actually going to blank the screen out real quick again. I'm going to come right back here. And I want to hit the third phase of today's first training. And the third phase is very, very key. And I'm actually going to talk about who do we actually go for now. Okay. So let me come back here again. And what I want to do is if we have this whole system where we need to create a lead, and we need to sell them, and we need to fulfill, obviously. We got these 3 key cornerstones that every business structure needs to have in place. Who on earth do we go for? Right? We need clarity on who to go for. Guys, if I look across the street, there we go. If I look across the street and I see Mr. Jones, right? And I'm like, oh, Mr. Jones, he needs this opportunity so bad. Oh my gosh. He needs it so bad. There's things in his life that are just, that's the worst person to sell. The worst. All right. The worst. Now, understand that I'm not here to judge anyone. I'm not here to say like I'm not here to drop poo-poo on anyone or you know. Okay, but you have to understand that not everyone's a good fit for your downline. Not everyone's a good fit to buy your product. Not all customers are created equal. A few, I'd say about a year ago now, there's a lady who reached out to me and she goes, Steve, I'm looking at your offer right now. How much would it take for me to, I'm sorry, how much would you guarantee that I make if I join your thing? I said, excuse me? She said, yeah, I'm looking at your thing. I want to buy it, but how much will you guarantee me that I make for me to come buy your thing? And I said, I don't know you at all. I mean, I've never met you before. I can't guarantee anything. She's like, you're not going to guarantee me? I said, no. I said, in fact, I actually am not going to take any responsibility for success whatsoever. I'll give you exactly what I told you what was going to be in the offer. But your personal success, I was like, I don't know your work ethic. I have no idea if you're willing to go do the things I'm going to teach you to go do. I know they work if you do them, but are you going to do them? I said, when I told her, I said, you're probably not a fit for this. She goes, are you serious? And I said, yep. and I fired her as a prospective client. Now, the reason why it's such a big deal is because you have to understand that the way I bring somebody into my downline often determines how they act once they're in. Did you just hear what I just said? The way I bring someone into my downline or sell them my product is often what determines how they act post-purchase. So I have to beg somebody in. I will beg somebody to do something afterwards. Y'all know what I'm talking about? Right? There were times when I had to go just like beg people in. Okay, so what I did is I've gotten far more clarity on who I should recruit or who I should sell my product to. Not just anybody, right? Someone with a heartbeat. Okay, and again, not trying to make fun of that at all, but there's a huge benefit to what I'm teaching right here. In fact, this is such a key principle that Russell Brunson just asked me to write a chapter on this in his new Expert Secrets rewrite. And so I have a chapter in there. It's 2,000 words. It's so cool. And what he wanted me to talk about was choosing a dream customer. And so I'm actually going to tell you guys some of that now right here real quick. Okay, there's a few qualifiers that I actually place on. Now I'm not going to go through all of them because we're actually going to cut over to a video real quick as well. But anyway, okay, here's a few qualifiers of my who. Okay, here's the who qualifiers. Number one, they have got to be educated already. I'm going to talk about that more in just a moment about what that means, but let me just write the list. They have to be educated already. Number two, they actually have to be frustrated already. That's one of the most key big pieces as well. Okay, so they're frustrated already. Number three, they need to be a content consumer already as well. Okay, content consumer. They have to be a content consumer already. Now, why would those be qualifiers for the person that I go and I sell? That's what I'm going to dive into here with you guys right now, actually. What do I mean by frustrated? The one I want to expound on here with you guys, I don't have the time to keep going on a few other parts of this, but the one thing that you do need to know is that there are 3 different types of people that you could sell to. Okay? It's not the list I'm walking right here, okay? The last thing I want to write here is they need to be a buyer already. Okay? So I want to expound, though, on this one. That one right there. What do I mean by frustrated already? There are 3 different types of people, 3 different kinds of buyers. Not all buyers are created equal, which means you shouldn't sell everyone, okay? 3 different kinds of buyers, 3 different buyers. 3 different buyers. Okay, the first one is, I want you to think of it this way, okay? I actually want to sell somebody who's already been in network marketing. I do not want me to be the first person they've ever joined in network marketing, okay? That is a very rough customer, and I'm going to walk through why that's a reality in just a moment. That has to do with them being educated already, okay? But there is somebody who is, I'm not telling you to go poach either. Let me be very clear about this also. Don't go poach. That's stupid, all right? But check this out. I at least want them to have been in an MLM already, okay? So if I think about network marketing or MLM or the pool, right? And this is network marketing / MLM. Okay, check this out. I want you to think that there's this percentage of people right here that are just so diehard. They're the diehards, man. Whatever opportunity they're in, they're staying in it. They're taking that logo with them to the grave. Stop trying to sell those people. That's one of the reasons why people have a hard time in network marketing, right? It's like, okay, Steven, I know, I get it. I have to go and I need to sell somebody who's already been in it, which is great. I'm going to walk through why that's a reality in just a moment, but stick with me for just a moment, okay? Okay, there's a percentage people right here who are the diehard. Like, I'm a ClickFunnels diehard. I love it when somebody tries to convince me to use something other than ClickFunnels because A, I don't know many other viable options, and B, I love fighting with them. That's the point, though. When you try to sell somebody who's a diehard about their own opportunity or they're diehard about their own product, it's like watching two people who are cheering for opposing Super Bowl teams during a Super Bowl. No one wins. Everyone gets mad. That's one of the biggest issues people have when they're targeting. And it's one of the biggest reasons why there's such like a little bit of a weird vibe people can have around network marketing. All right? They're like, I'm not interested. If they're not interested, stop talking to them. Right? They're not going to be great inside your fulfillment anyway. They're not going to do anything, right? They're very. And I always get people who are like, "But I can train them up." That sucks, man. Don't. All right, stop. Wait for them to desire already what it is that you're doing. You need them to have a pre-existing disposition to purchase what you're selling. That's what you're going for. Okay, so the first category is the individual who's a diehard. They're either a diehard for the person in their network marketing company. Don't sell them. Stop trying to sell them. Don't even try and talk to them. They're just going to try and convert you as well, and it's okay. But, like, anyway, that's why. Okay, the second category here is somebody who's satisfied. Satisfied. Now, I would say that the majority of, like, these three people, these three types of different buyers, this is the largest one. This is the biggest one. It's the group of people that they're not diehards. They're not gonna they're not gonna staple the logo to their chest, you know what I mean? Like, oh, I'm all about this company. But they're satisfied enough with the results they're getting, either from purchasing and using your product or from being in your downline, that they're not looking to change. Stop trying to sell them. Okay? Stop trying to sell them. You know you're trying to sell someone who's satisfied when they're price shopping you. When they're looking around at tons of different products and comparing them side by side. There's not enough desire for that individual to come buy from you anyway. Okay, this is the reason why 7,000 people have come, okay, asking to join my downline. 2,200 have actually applied, but I actually haven't brought them all in. It's because some of them are diehards and they're just trying to see what I'm doing. A huge percentage are satisfied and they don't have enough desire. I can't teach hunger, man. I've never found out how to teach hunger, right? And if they're not hungry, I don't want them in, right? So what I'm doing is I'm going to the third type, and the third type is the very key person. The third type is the person who's frustrated. Okay, it's like Okay, it's frustrated right here. The frustrated is the best person. That's not gonna fit right there either. Frustrated. There we go. It kind of fits. Okay, it says frustrated. Okay, the third kind of person is the individual who's frustrated. You know you're talking to somebody who's frustrated when they are throwing rocks at their own company without you asking them to. That's awesome. They're already convinced that they're on their way out. That's who I want. I'm looking for somebody who's already in motion to make a new decision. I'm looking for somebody who's in motion to say, yes, I want, but what other options are out there? The only thing that it takes to sell somebody who's in the middle of frustration, usually, is just another option. They're very easy to sell. That's true if you're recruiting. That's true if you're selling product. Right now I'm in a ketosis network marketing company. And so the best person that I should go sell is somebody who's already bought keto in the past. They've already been in a network marketing company also in the past. And they're in the middle of frustration with either or of those things, or both, hopefully. That's the easiest sale. I don't have to be an amazing pitch man when I get clarity on the who. And that's the biggest reason why network marketing has this little stink eye that most people have about it. We pitch everybody. I'm just talking about buyers here, guys. There's this fourth category over here of people who have no interest. Don't stop talking to them. Stop it. Stop it. Okay? They suck to work with. They're not amazing, usually. And you are forced to become a life coach instead of a business owner. You know what I'm talking about. Okay? So stop. Stop talking to the uninterested individual. Uninterested. Okay? Cut it out. Don't talk to someone who's a diehard and they absolutely love and they bleed the colors and there's basically a logo like tattooed on their chest about what they're doing. Don't stop talking to them. The person who's satisfied, man, it's not that they're like a diehard, but they have enough success and they're satiated. Sounds good. And you don't want to price shop out your crap anyway. The best person you're trying to sell is somebody who's frustrated. And because of that, the people you're actually going for is a lot smaller of a group than you usually think. So I always laugh in Shark Tank when someone's like, the market is going to, 15 million people are going to be in the market and enter the new market at this time. I'm always like, that's great, but they're not your market. Your market is way smaller than that, thankfully. Because with more clarity on who you're going for, it's a lot easier to get a lot of people in the door. Okay? That's why my stuff blows up. My message isn't for everybody. I don't want everyone. I'm trying to keep people out as much as I'm trying to get them in. I'm a filter as much as I am a sales thing. All right? That's why I built something that I enjoy. This is the reason why you can build something like, oh man, I get it. Oh, this is so cool. Is this making sense to you guys? What I'm going to do real fast is I'm actually going to cut over to part of the training. Now, you guys right now are in Hidden Downline Masterclass. And what that means is that there's commentary. This whole time I've been giving commentary on it, but you actually haven't seen Hidden Downline yet. Hidden Downline is an actual training. I'm going to cut over to that right now, and we're going to start that. I'm actually really pumped for it. It's extremely valuable stuff. So let me go ahead and kick it up here, and that'll be going. I'm going to share my screen. Let me make sure that we got... Yeah, okay, cool. Now your comments, keep dropping them on in. I will drop in after this is over, and I will walk through your comments as well, and then that will end session 1. Pretty amazing session, right? It's good stuff. Awesome, let's get going here. Larson. Hey, I want to welcome you to this 5-part mini course that I've created. It's called Hidden Downline. Hidden Downline is something that I've made here because, after being in network marketing multiple times now, and I'm in a company, I've stayed with them for a while, and it's been awesome. I finally got my systems and my stuff up to a certain point where I am no longer... Sorry, guys. Just a second. I'm just fixing something. All right. My screen is like... you see the David Ogilvy video there? All right, here we go. I'm waiting to see everything. I don't know, man. I don't look at my downline. I don't look at my stats that much. I'm not tracking it, and that might shock you. But the purpose of this actual course itself is to teach you, if you would like to set this up in kind of an automated fashion. This is how I've done it, and this is how I've put it all together so that it's pretty much automated income. And I'll just log in every once in a while to my MLM's back office, the network marketing company that I'm a part of, and then what I go do is I'll just dump the wallet into my actual wallet, you know what I mean? And make that transfer into my bank account. And it's awesome. What my wife and I personally use for it, and understand I'm not your financial advisor or anything like that, but MLM for me, the cash in the background, we just save up money to just buy real estate with it, cash flowing real estate. So we're having an asset buy an asset. And this whole MLM business for me, the network marketing company we're part of, is totally turnkey. I really don't look at it that much. I really don't do much with it. That doesn't mean you need to take the person out of this personable business. That's not why I encourage you to do that either. That's not at all what I'm saying. But I do want you to know that this is extremely possible. So if you're looking at this or watching this now and you're like, Steve, look, this sounds awesome, but I don't want to be full-time in network marketing. Me either, right? I have an actual company, and I do all this on the back end. And it's a ton of fun. I really, really enjoy it. Or if you're like, I want to go full-time with this as well, awesome, more power to you. That you can still use the information I'm going to share with you right now to automate leads coming to you. So anyways, just a little pre-frame, this little video here that I'm going to go through. This whole course is called Hidden Downline. Hidden Downline. I'm going to go through 5 things with you guys throughout the course of these 5 videos. Okay, these 5 videos, there's 5 things here. The first thing, and frankly, every business needs this. The first thing you need to go for is you need to figure out exactly who you want to work with. Right? So there's 1 there. That's who you actually want to work with. Number 2, and there's a lot of stuff that goes into that, okay? So these are like the major bullet point keystone pieces, okay? So what's the message that you're going to lead with? And I'm going to talk about this in terms of whatever network marketing company you're actually a part of. It doesn't actually matter here, okay? Does not matter what you're a part of. So we're going to go who, the message, then I'll go into offer. That's different than product. That does not mean product. Okay, then finally we're going to go into what we call a funnel, a sales funnel, if you've never heard that term before.
It's all good. That's what that is. Well, I'll go through that as well with you. That'll be video number 4, obviously. And then this 5th part here is actually going to be what we call campaigns. That's different than traffic. And so we'll go through it. I'm going to teach these things to you throughout the course of this. And I'm excited for you to have this here. So we'll actually start here with this video. And I want to help you understand more about the who and why the who matters so much. And why the who is such a big deal. So I remember when I first started this game, there was a guy who showed up to my buddy and I. He's actually on the other side of the door over here. He sat down. He's like, hey, I want to help you guys start your company. And we had this little company selling smartphone insurance. And it was cool. It was awesome. We had a lot of fun doing it. But the challenge was, we had all these small business startup issues that were very, very challenging that we had to go fix and solve. And so we thought he was coming to help us fix some of these business challenges. So he shows up, we set up a time, right? We set up a time, he shows up, we're sitting down on these couches, and he starts pitching us into his network marketing company. We had no idea that that's what he was going to be doing. We had no idea. It was awkward, right? I felt used. I felt like, and it's the reason why what I'm going to share with you guys throughout the course of these 5 videos, I'm going to show you how to automate your leads and cash flow without your friends and family even knowing you're in a network marketing company. And it's exactly what the scenario is. I think my family knows now, just because I've mentioned it, but I've never pitched them. I do not go talk to them, right? The first MLM ever that I was in, I did pitch them. And then after that, I was like, I'm never going to tell them again what I do or what I'm in. And I've let them come to me if they want to. And if they don't, that's fine, because I've treated it like a real business that needs actual leads and actual cash flow. Okay, so what I'm going to teach you how to do throughout this is treat this like an actual business and not just a hobby. And you can set this up in a way so that it runs like an actual company. And so that's what it is. I mean, it's not like I've not hired people to come in and run this for me. It's just how I've automated these pieces. So while I'm running my actual business in the front, I actually have this back-end business, this hidden downline, as this course is called, that actually is going in and auto-recruiting people, right? And there's several things that go on with this. So first of all, the first part of this, we're going to talk about the who, all right, the who. And let me just go to a new sheet here. I want to dispel something that is taught frequently inside of the. I want to dispel something that's taught frequently inside of the MLM network marketing space. Okay, here's the scenario. The first MLM I was ever pitched on. This is what I was also taught. I'm going to wake up. I'm going to go look at the. I'm going to go look across the street at my neighbors. I'm going to go to hotels. I'm going to go to malls, and I'm going to see Mr. Jones across the street. And I'm going to look it over there. I'm going, oh, Mr. Jones, he needs this opportunity so bad. And what am I supposed to go do? My training for my upline, who means well, but my training is to go walk up to that person and start pitching them, right, unannounced, on the opportunity or the product. That's how you're supposed to get leads. That sucks, okay? I don't want people who need my opportunity, okay? So what I'm going to do here real fast is I'm going to describe the who, okay? The dream customer, the dream person inside your downline. At the time of me filming this right now in front of you, I've had 2,200 people ask to join my personal downline, just me, not including those in my team. 2,200 people have asked to join in the last about 2 years. I don't say yes to all of them. That might shock you. Colleges don't say yes to all their applicants. Same principle. I'm vetting them. And so what I want to do is I want to share with you guys some of the criteria that I walk through to make sure that people are the right fit for me. I want to build a dream company, even if it is network marketing. I want to build a dream company with dream people in there. So let's walk through some of the criteria on who it is that I'm actually going for. So if I got the who, right, and people have said, wait, Stephen, do you mean the who as far as the opportunity? Or do you mean a dream who as far as like a customer? I mean both, all right? I need both. Opportunity and customer. Okay, opportunity and customer here. So check this out. So let's run through a few criteria here. And if we've got like I'm going to put like a dream person right here. Dream person. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. and they're floating on a cloud because they're a dream. Okay, this is your dream person here. What are some criteria, some things that we want them to already know or understand? What are some pieces that we want them, some situations in life maybe that we already want them to be in order to go and actually qualify as a lead for us, or a dream customer, a dream person in our downline, okay? And so these are some of the things that I look at. The first thing that I look at, and this is gonna probably shock you guys a little bit, but I'll tell you that one of the ways I've automated this business is I need to go for somebody who already knows what network marketing is, okay? I am not trying to find somebody who doesn't know what it is. That means I have to educate them, and then I have to answer dumb questions like, is this a pyramid scheme? Right? Y'all know what I'm talking about here. I'm just gonna be real with you, all right? You all know. Is this a pyramid scheme? Is this you gonna make me talk to my friends and family? If I go for somebody who's passed those objections, if they've been educated beyond that amount, I don't have to talk about that stuff. And I actually get somebody who is far more action taking. So the first filter that I put on this is I want to make sure that I go for somebody who, number one, funny enough, Frank, we're talking about turnkey network marketing, hidden downlines, right? I want, number one, them to already have been in a network marketing company. I should not be the first opportunity that they've joined. They should have gone through one before. Number one, they've already been in one. They've already been in network marketing, okay? Right? Now think about this. We're setting up a dream scenario, not a could-be scenario. Oh, I could sell him, I could sell her. I'm not talking about coulds. Just because somebody has the money in their wallet doesn't mean that they're a dream customer, okay? I don't want somebody who just has the cash. I want to go in and I want to sell somebody who also understands certain things, okay? Cash in hand is not a criteria. It's not enough of a criteria. I also want the criteria of certain types of knowledge. It actually makes a better customer, makes a better person to go in and actually run. And I remember the first time, and you guys might have been the same way before. I remember one of the first times it was one of the first MLMs I joined, and I recruited 13 people my first month. Stuff was rough. I did everything my upline said to do, and I didn't know what to do beyond that. And I started offending some friends and family, which some of them are still offended by it. And it's why I solved my own pain with this, okay? And what happened was I went and I started talking to all these guys, and I started recruiting a little bit. And what was challenging about this was there was a guy I remember I drove his 3 or 4 hour round trip to go visit him because he stopped answering his phone. And I got him to sign up for some services. And then I never heard from him again. I mean, you know what I'm talking about? There's people who are in your downline or people you've sold product to, you got to poke with the freaking cattle prod to get them to do anything. And by you getting strict on what they already know, not just have in their wallet, that is how you develop a customer-centric business that is actually blesses you as well and blesses your own wallet at the same time. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to go do is I'm going to focus on somebody who has already been in MLM or network marketing. Okay, I'm going to use those terms pretty interchangeably here, but I'll mostly say network marketing. Okay. All right, number two. This is going to shock you again. Let's say that I am selling, like I sell a keto product, okay? I sell a keto product, and guys, I'm not here to pitch you. I'm not gonna sneak in a sneaky pitch at all. I don't care what MLM you're in. I don't care what network marketing company you're in. I don't care what you sell. What I care about is you treating this like a business, okay? So I'm not even gonna tell you the name of the company I'm in, but I just want you to know. So I sell like a ketones product. It will help illustrate more of these principles. I sell a ketones product, super awesome, really enjoy it. Now, I want you to think about something here for a moment. If I am trying to tell somebody, if I'm like, hey, buy this ketones supplement, who is likely to have more success and have less questions? Somebody who's never heard of ketones before, or somebody who's heard of ketones before? Somebody who's heard of ketones before. So one of the criteria that I want to put on here is that no matter whatever it is you guys actually choose to sell, I actually am targeting people who are already buying a similar thing to what you sell. They don't ask me questions like, what is ketosis? Right? Why are ketones better than glucose? right? They don't ask stuff like this. Well, is it just a fat loss thing? Someone else educated them on that. I didn't. It's one of the fastest hacks to a turnkey thing ever. I actually am trying to sell customers in every business, not just my MLM, my network marketing hidden downline that this is about, right? I'm actually trying to sell people who've already purchased something similar because the amount of education I have to give them is small. Okay? This is like if you have ever gone putt-putt, right? And you know, like when you ever go, have you ever gone putt-putt golfing and you go and you tap the ball and it stops right on the edge of the cup, right on the edge of the hole. Right? Stops right there. Okay? If that represented how much education you need to give somebody in order for them to buy and have success, that's the perfect scenario. That's the perfect scenario. I am looking for people who just need a little tap in order to have, first of all, buy, and number two, have success. Okay? So they need to be able, this is the criteria here. I need to buy and have success. And so ask that question to yourself. Say, what is the who is the individual that needs the smallest amount of education? This is the magic question here. Who's the person? Who are the people? Who's the dream who that needs the smallest amount of education in order to have, number one, a purchase happen and have success? Okay, that's who you're looking for. You finding a dream customer is completely contingent on how much customer education the person already has. Okay, so number one, buy and have success. Smallest amount of education. Okay, and remember the example of the, I'm not awesome at drawing, but remember the example of the golf ball. Right, sitting right there on the edge of the hole. That's important. Okay, that's important because a lot of you guys, especially in network marketing, you look across the street at Mr. Jones and say, he needs this opportunity. But the amount of education you have to give Mr. Jones to buy and have success, it's like the golf ball is 3 miles away. You have to hit them so far. There's so many false beliefs. There's so many, is this a pyramid scheme? What is ketosis? Can I talk to my friends and family? There's so many things that they don't understand yet. It is not set up for you to have a turnkey back-end hidden downline like I do. Make sense? Okay, this is important to understand with this. Okay, so number one, I want them to already have been in a network marketing company because they don't ask me dumb questions like, is this a pyramid scheme? Number two, I want it to be based on the product. So whatever product you're selling, like I'm selling a ketones product, whatever that is, I actually want them to already have purchased something similar to what I'm selling. But they've already bought that before, Stephen. I can't go sell them that. How many business books are on your bookshelf right now? Case in point, okay? You don't just buy something once. You actually, one of my favorite quotes, in fact, I should probably try and find it here. I can't remember who it's from. One of my favorite, and I'm gonna mess it up, but the reality was this. It's Jay Abraham. He says something to the effect of, I've often been quoted to say that a buyer is a buyer is a buyer is a buyer. The woman that owns 51 pairs of shoes is a much better buyer to buy another pair of shoes than the woman who has no pairs of shoes. It's something around that. I want you to think about that and why that's true, because it's extremely true. And the easiest, fastest windfalls of large amounts of cash do not come from you trying to educate someone a mile away into this golf ball hole. Stop trying to set world records, which I think is like 300 yards for a putt-putt or something like that, right? It's ridiculous. Okay, stop trying to go set up a scenario that's very easy to go close somebody in. So I'm number one, again, already in network marketing. Number two, they already have purchased. They've already purchased a similar product, okay? Similar product. Number one, they've already been network marketing. Number two, they've already purchased a similar product. So now think about a few other scenarios here. These are like, I have to have these. These other few are ones that make it easier as well, but are not as crucial. I have to have this part, okay? The next two, again, like I said, are not as crucial, but it's this. Number three, I want them to have purchased from my competition. I actually want that. Okay, purchased from my competition. What do you think happens when they've already purchased from your competition, but now they're buying from you? What that means, what's happened inside their head? Something's going on inside the head. If I go out, like let's say for a long time I didn't get like an iPhone or anything, I don't know, I still had a flip phone. And it was probably like back in version 3 or 4 or 5 or something like that. And when I finally got one, how much educating do they need to give me? Right, let's say the flip phone company comes back to me and they say, Steven, we see that you are using that flip phone, or you're using the new iPhone. Have you seen this new flip phone? All right, they're like, leave Apple, Steven, leave Apple. Leave Apple, come over, be Steve like Steve Jobs, and leave, come over here, start using this flip phone instead. Does this make sense? Like, I'm using my iPhone right here, and a flip phone company comes to me and says, start using this flip phone again, right? What do I have to say? I have to abandon and find things wrong with and justify not using the iPhone anymore, and then go back over to using a flip phone, okay? Now, the reason why this is such a big deal, let's tie this all together so this makes sense. If my head has gone through the work of justifying no longer using my competitor's product, they're pretty sold on the fact that your product is better. Okay, I actually want them to have purchased from my competitor already, whoever that is, because they've now reached a state that's frustrated, and they're looking, they're active, they are looking for a better solution. Okay, this is that's a big one. It's not a must, but for me, it is still a criteria that creates a dream customer. Okay, there's 1, 2, and I'll leave these other 2 down here. Alrighty. Now this one also might be a little bit surprising here, but I also look for somebody who is already consuming content from the marketplace. I want the marketplace to have pumped out some content, some things like that, and if I look to see like, hey man, I don't know if this is making sense to you guys, but like, yeah, let me just write it here. I'm thinking about writing and saying it at the same time. My head doesn't work like that. Okay, they already consume content. Why would I want my dream customer to be consuming content before they come to me? These are like the 4 major things. There are others. It's a huge list, a part of the modern Downline course. But this is like some of the major ones from that that I look for the dream who. All great business starts at clarifying the who, right? The dream customer here. What I want to do though is I want them to be in the act and the habit of consuming things like podcasts or videos or what. What does that say about them? It means that they are in motion. It means that they are seekers. They are hunters, right? Of all the people that I've recruited in the past, I wouldn't say that for a while, not a lot of them were hunters. I was hunting them. I don't want to hunt them. They should be hunting me. So I only want to go for those people who are in the act and the attitude and the habit of hunting down answers. Okay, does this make sense? It also means that if they in the past have been consuming content, when I start producing content, they're more likely to actually consume mine. Okay. Anyway, I hope this has made sense. Hopefully it's been helpful so far. But basically what I'm sharing with you right now is that one of the biggest questions people ask is they're like, well, Steven, the biggest thing you can do for your success is choose the right network marketing company. That's crap. Okay, that's crap. The biggest thing you can do for your success is get clarity on who. Get clarity on the who. Get clarity on who you serve. Once that happens, a sales message, automated lead machines, traffic, campaigns, that stuff is like so turnkey once you have this down. Here's why choosing the right MLM doesn't matter. And here's also why getting in on the ground floor also does not matter. It does not matter. That's like such a false belief of the industry. It drives me absolutely nuts. Okay. I used to play piano quite a bit, actually. My mom taught piano lessons growing up. She had tons of students that would come on in. I was kind of reluctant to learn piano, but I started when I was age 8, and I played piano until I was like age, 13. And then I was like, oh, this is dumb. I'm a teenager now, Mom, right? And I was like, no. And then when I was about 15 or 16, I was like, man, piano gets the ladies. So then I went and I self-taught again piano. And you know what's fascinating is we had this piano. It wasn't like an overly nice piano, okay? But I would go and I would watch these other pianists go in and play these incredible songs, right? And what I noticed about each one of them is that it didn't matter which piano, which brand of piano the musician sat down at. No matter whatever piano they sat down at, even if it was slightly out of tune, the musician's skill is what made the piano sound good, even if it was slightly out of tune, even if it was old, even if it was a crappy brand of a piano. Okay. Same thing with drums. I ended up playing drums. I played the full drums kit for a while. Same exact thing. A very talented musician who was a drummer on a crappy set made it sound awesome. Okay? It's the exact same thing with any kind of opportunity. Too many times people run around, they're like, well, I got in on the wrong level. I didn't get the right opportunity right here. I didn't get the right, they're selling the wrong product. The comp plan wasn't giving me an extra percentage point commissions. Like, if you're running that razor thin, you have no idea what you're doing. Right? You have no idea. And so what I'm saying here is like your skill level as the musician is what matters, not the piano. Your skill level as a marketer, as an entrepreneur, is what makes any network marketing opportunity sound good and successful and profitable. It has nothing, now does the tool matter? Yeah, after like a lot of experience and then the brand certainly does starts to make sense a little bit. But it's like the final 20%. And people get so focused on that last 20%. Oh man, I didn't get it on the ground floor. Oh man, you're skipping the 80%. You suck at marketing. You have no idea what you're doing. You don't know how to generate leads. You have no idea how to create cash flow. You have no idea how to attract people to you. You have no idea how to say a sales message, right? Like, that's the real problem. You're not a musician yet. And so what I'm walking you guys through here with this is that you have to understand any product, any business ever. I'll just tell you right now so you know I'm not like some fake or whatever. When I left my job, it took me 13 months to make my first $1 million. 7 months after that, I got my next $1 million, and then I had my first $1 million day a few months ago as the time of me filming this. Okay, I will tell you that the only thing that's really changed is I've gotten better and better and better at the basics. The stuff that I did yesterday was actually the things that I learned about 8 years ago. Oh, wait, I'm trying to think what year it is. It was some of the first skills I ever learned. I'm just better at doing them now. That's it. Same skills. And so the stuff that you guys are learning here right now, not only is it great for building a hidden downline, it's great for building your actual company as well. This, how I've set this up again is that I've got an actual company, an actual business in the front. I've got employees. We've got the office. We've got all these pieces in place. It's awesome, so cool. And in the back, I've had this hidden downline. And it's because I've got machines put in place that bring in leads. I'm hyper clear on the who, right? It's all these things I was walking through. Right? Just because it's network marketing does not mean you don't get to treat it like a real business. If you want it to not just be a hobby and a little side hustle and be something that's real, you gotta walk through the formula. The formula is, who do you serve? In the next video, we're gonna talk about message and offer, funnel, and campaigns, and there are systems behind each one of those. If you guys are liking this, go to moderndownline.com and you can get the full thing there. But I just thought I'd give you a little bit of a taste of what this is like. So to start this out again, and just to kind of recap what we've gone through with this, get hyper clear on who you want and who you do not want. The list of who you do not want is almost more important than who you do. Get very clear on who it is that you're willing to work with. Okay, I've had a lot of big people reach out and they'd be like, Steven, come build this thing. And they don't fit my who. And I say no. And it looks dumb on the outside, but it keeps me turnkey. Okay, keeps me keeping my time to myself. Okay, so go in and understand again with this whole thing, just recapping here real fast. You need to have written out, I challenge you to write it out. What are the criteria of your dream customer? I don't necessarily mean like demographics or anything like that. Okay, that's not what I'm talking about at all. I want to know, how can I attract somebody, if I'm trying to make this as turnkey as possible, how can I attract somebody to me? Because I am not reaching out to them. That's my rule number one. How can I create, and we'll talk about that in a moment. How can I create something to attract them to me? And they're already in network marketing, so I don't need to get on the phone. Let's just do a phone call. I haven't picked up the phone for network marketing in 4 years, okay? Because of this rule, right? I want them to already have come from something in network marketing. I want them to already have purchased a product similar to what my network marketing company is selling. I want them to already have purchased from competition, because it means they're already a little bit jaded, which is great. They're not gonna have as much, they're not gonna be as distracted when they come on in. They're a little bit more both feet on the ground and centered. Oh, I've tried that person before, I didn't like that, right? And then I want them to be able to, I want them to already be consuming content. So I podcast like crazy. Got podcasts on iTunes because those who listen to it become the best leads for me because they were already consuming content, right? Anyway, we'll talk about that more in the future. But that's a very brief kind of like rinse and repeat outline of what I do to go find it. And the reason we're doing this is because I want to make sure the secret to an amazing dream customer is getting clarity, like I said, on these things, but it's really a matter of customer education. Okay, customer education. How far do I need, and I don't want to have to educate them as if what they understand is forever away from the whole of buying and having success. And that's what I'm looking for. Hopefully this has been helpful to you guys. In the next video, I'm going to go through and talk a little bit more about message creation, and not just what message to tell, but how to tell it, and why that matters. I know you get a great script from your upline, which is great, but there's some things you can do to it to really increase its effectiveness, and I'm very pumped to share it with you. If you guys have liked this and you want more, it's awesome. Go to moderndownline.com and thank the person who's brought you to it. Thanks so much. I'll see you in the next video.
Okay, now real quick, why would I just walk through that and share with you guys what I just did? Oh, son, you just watched one of these free little front ends things, okay? That's what this is, and that's what I'll be using it for in the future. So, hey, I'm going to go through and I'm going to answer questions here. Let me come over to the comments, and I see most comments in this spot. So hopefully I'm seeing all of them. I'm seeing the ones that are brought into the feed right here anyways. Let's see. Excited to be here. Been stuck for a while. Sorry, I'm trying to catch up. Offer mine, take me back. Awesome, very cool. I'm yours. That's funny. All in, had an interview with ClickFunnels. They asked me my goal. I said I want to be the next Steve Larson. Sweet, sounds good. Hated the talk family and friends thing. You're awesome. Okay, let me get to actual questions. What's your real business? Go to, my real business is, if you want to see the things that I actually do, go to capitalistcoaching.com. Okay, Capitalist Coaching. Because I'm going super fast. Trying to see where the actual questions are. How many friends and family still look at you strangely? I don't pitch any of them, so they don't. How do you do the screen share thing? I mean, same. I didn't give up my family. We're completely against it. Are we selling? Okay, sorry. I'm just trying to catch up. A lot of comments here. A lot of you guys on here. Want to make sure I get your question answered. Go ahead and drop them in if you have any, though. Writing a book. Duplicates. I'm not sure what that is it Adele? I don't know what you're asking. Thanks. You're just a good spirit. Hey, thanks, Zach. Appreciate that. I'm trying to find questions. Let's see. So you don't need to fill a quota every month, i.e. buy the products from the MLM every month? I mean, I do, but I like what I take it. It's a keto supplement, so I take it. Let's see. How do you choose a topic for the external thing? Oh, yeah, so the way I choose a topic for this is kind of like what I was talking about before. I choose something that's low cost, low price, high circulation, high value. It has to hit those 4 criteria. But it has to be something that attracts the frustrated people inside the market. That's how. Look, there are many top earners that are not using lead magnets, but the reality is they stumbled upon a person or two that blew their business up. but they couldn't replicate it if they had to. Exactly, Jimmy. Yeah, there's a lot of people who aren't doing this, but like 80% are. Right, a lot of them are doing this, and a lot of them don't understand it in this light either. Understand that I'm coming with this from direct response marketing eyes, right? That's my profession, so I'm looking at. I'm like, it's funny. I was talking with somebody in my own upline, and she was like, "I'm not using a funnel," and I went and I looked at her stuff. She's 100% using a funnel, just because it's not in a sequential amount of web pages. Oh, it's not a funnel. It was a funnel. And she's like, it's not a sales funnel. I was like, that is a funnel. You're using a funnel right now, just because it's not in ClickFunnels. ClickFunnels didn't invent funnels, you guys. Funnels existed when the first caveman traded a rock for a fish, right? A funnel is just an offer and a message. And if you don't have a web page doing it, you're the funnel. And I'm not willing to be the funnel. Okay? So that's what's so funny to me is like you get all these people who are in massive, huge in the top earners. And they say like, "Oh, I'm not using a funnel." And I'm like, you have a message and an offer that's external from what you're selling in your MLM that's bringing you leads and then you sell them afterwards. That's a funnel. I'm just talking about a process. Now, the fact that we put it on the internet and the fact that it's in ClickFunnels, that's a method, right? Albeit a very powerful one and one that I encourage everyone to do. Okay, but a funnel that's been around since mankind was around, right? So anyway, I need to create assets. What Steve is actually teaching is the best way to build scale. Hey, thanks, Jimmy. Appreciate it. Let's see. Right, going fast, trying to catch up. Boom, preach. Yeah, what's up? Got a lot of other telemarketers in here. The inability to fulfill is my biggest fear. I'm still learning and worried about people will call me a scam after they join my downline. Well, if you are a scam, then you should be nervous. If you're not, don't worry about it. You know what I mean? There's the answer. So that's why your last videos on your podcast, are you riding a bike? No, I just wanted to go outside. I want to use this model in real estate. It's the exact same model that's in affiliate marketing and real estate online. Guys, this is business. Every business follows this model. Amateurs focus on the front end. The real geniuses focus on the back end. What's the risk and the cost? I don't know if there is one. I want to use these systems, but I'm worried they'll be extremely disappointed because I don't know how to run the system. That's what Secret MLM Hacks was about. It's about this. Okay. 2 hours. That's right. My time is valuable. I don't have time for that. No life coaching. Exactly, Lamar. Me either. Going fast. I'm catching up here. I'm almost there. Here's someone I've heard before. Will this be available after? Till midnight. Then it gets taken down. Let's see. Moving quick. Steve's an MLM surgeon. But by being here, you're ahead of millions of people that don't know this information yet. Yeah, it's true. Start moving forward. Love it. Fit Couple USA. Absolutely. Appreciate you sharing this. Most people join MLM for time freedom and instead become slaves. Yes, Sandra, 100%. Right. And funny enough, what do they spend? One-off time. I need time freedom. And then let me go spend a whole bunch of one-off time. It's actually brought up to me like I'm the first MLM I ever joined. First network marketing company I ever joined. I was like, it's for passive income. And then someone was like, actually it was Colton. He was like, look at how that guy's running. There's nothing passive about it. He's working 60 hours a week. It's because he's spending one-off time. Look at old stuff works. Yeah, look, that old stuff still works. It does still work. But let me ask you a quick question here, guys. If you go to, okay, I grew up in Littleton, Colorado. Okay, Littleton, Colorado, awesome spot to grow up. Absolutely loved it. Right next to where I grew up, there's this place called the Bandimere Speedway. Okay, Bandimere Speedway is a drag racing strip. So I want to imagine you go to this drag racing strip, Bandimere Speedway, right outside Littleton, Colorado. And as you're going up to it, you sit down in your seat and you look out to go see the first race. And it's a drag car against a Prius. Now I'm going to ask you real quick, who will reach the end? I said, who will reach the end? Both of them will. Who will reach the end the fastest? Obviously the drag car. It's not that you can't do it with the Prius, right? It's not that you can't do it with the old methods, but you kind of got to make it a bit of a full-time thing. This is called hidden downline. The requirement is that you do not spend tons of time on it, okay? You can still develop a relationship with your leads in downline. 100% you can. Yeah. Note takers are money makers. I love that. What do you use to manage a list that big? ClickFunnels. It's all ClickFunnels. See, customer acquisition price needs to be lower than offer price to self-liquidate. Yeah, or just sell multiple. Let's see. Aweber is very user friendly for email automation. I use them. I prefer ClickFunnels. Let's see. And then Jimmy, understand that I'm saying anything in the front end. You could sell something that's $50 in the front. You could sell something that's $1,000. I've done that as well. You can sell something that's way more than that. I've also done that. You can do something that's $2. The principle, it's not constricted to price point. This is a function of business. This is an area. I get the funnels, but how much does it cost to manage a list that big? It's part of ClickFunnels. It's easy to ClickFunnels. It's free with ClickFunnels. Oh, I thought I had to sell something similar to Secret Home Hacks or something like that. No, I mean, make up your own thing. I built Secret Home Hacks because of this exact function. Okay, I do. What's the app that you're using on this? You can Google that. I'm gonna check out SendGrid, yeah, or ClickFunnels. Steve, you broke the code, baby. Thanks, guys. Appreciate that. Got it. It's not hard. It's new. How do you choose then a product? I'm just trying to make sure I answer your guys' main questions here. So basically, I have a lead magnet, has nothing to do with your MLM to build your list first. Yeah. And with several criteria in there. As for SLO price ranges, what would you suggest? Hey, Gordon, it's a great question. It often depends on the kind of person that I'm bringing in. So if I'm trying to bring somebody in who is largely broke, and I'm just saying, then I'm going to want a little bit of a cheaper price point. If I'm trying to get somebody who already is an existing business owner or somebody who's already moving or has momentum, I'm going to go for somebody who's a little bit higher price point. Frankly, the higher price point you'll find out is a better buyer. Okay, they actually do more. Let's see, my publishing will be mainly new to the Forex. Hey, super cool. Still working on SLO. Yeah, and pretty soon you'll start to learn how to crank out a whole bunch of those. But lower price point products are best because the sale's easier. I don't say they're best. You get more sales, but not necessarily a better buyer. Steve, the first funnel you created with your friends, is that a break-even funnel? It was. Absolutely, Denise. Duplicatable. Was this the MLM hack? Oh, no. This is not. This is called Hidden Downline Masterclass. You know, buy Secret MLM Hacks? A lot of you did. So this is a new system that he's selling. No, guys, I'm just teaching. I'm not selling anything. I'm just teaching. Hidden Downline Masterclass, baby. You're watching me film a course live in front of you right now. Let's see. I'm about to invest. This is huge. Yeah, glad you like it, Kenneth. That Bajoro app helps a lot. I'm glad you like it. Cool. Going fast. Almost caught up to the questions. Are you going to be selling a system? Secret MLM Hacks was that's what that was. It's no longer open to the public, though. Why are you stopping the Secret MLM Hacks podcast? That's been answered several times in the podcast. It's still all up, but that's all in there. Steve, can't wait for you to course on how to build your cash flowing assets with your wife. I'm not your financial guru, and I'm not going to take or try. Don't listen to me for the stuff I'm not a guru for. Never listen. That's one of the biggest problems people have when they start. Is like I'm good at what I do, and I'm a direct response marketer, but don't listen to me on weightlifting advice just because I lift weights. You know what I'm saying? It's like only go to a gas station for gas. Never buy sushi at a gas station. You go to the thing for what it's known for, right? We teach us how to do each one of those pieces in the system you use. Yeah, that's what that Secret Home Hacks was about. I just bought Secret Home Hacks. How does this masterclass differ? How does it differ? I'm not giving you funnels. I'm not teaching you how to do any of that. I'm just telling you what it is. Okay, there's a huge difference. I'm just teaching you. I'm excited to have you in there too, Lance. 5G was military available during World War III. Yeah, sweet. Just bought Secret Home Hacks last week. Will this new system that you create, Steve, change? I'm not sure what you're talking about. Secret MLM Hacks is its own offer, my friends. This has nothing to do with it. This is Hidden Downline Masterclass. These are the systems I built so that I can run an actual real company, multi-million dollars a month, or multi-million dollars a year, right? Multi-million dollar company while this asset grows in the back. These are the systems on how I built it. Great question. Steve, if you get a bit closer to the mic or tweak the settings, it's a bit low. Hey, thanks for bringing that up. Please drop a link to the video, show my team. I can't do that, but you can actually send them to Hidden Downline Masterclass. This video will be gone at midnight. This is gold. Hey, thanks. What accent is this? Brit or American? Straight up American. American. Cool and creepy. This is the best training I've ever had. Actionable steps. Hey, appreciate that. What was his name? Steve J. Larson. SteveJLarson.com. That's my site. Let's see. Almost caught up, guys. Still going, still going. Your volume is very low. Hey, thanks for telling me that. I will revamp that. That's not good. Go finding questions. Man, there's a lot of you on here. Could you give an example of something you create as an SLO that's not related to your MLM but still gets people? Yeah, this, actually. That's what I'm making. You guys are watching me create an SLO in front of you. Sounding up some good points. Keep on giving. Appreciate that. Let's see. How can you filter if they've been in MLM before? Is there a Facebook interest in that? No. So it's a great question. Forak changed my life. The way I do it is it's actually with your messaging, which actually is the topic of the next section. So that will start at 2 p.m. Mountain Time in about an hour and a half. So I'm actually going to get off here soon. Oh my gosh, that's gold that you're teaching right now. Thanks so much. Absolutely, Maria. Appreciate that. Is this makeup, Steve? I don't wear makeup. What? Podcast notifications coming soon. I want to be a lead funnel builder, marketer. I want to learn the same thing you do. Sweet. Start building funnels. I believe Steve uses Libsyn to do podcasts and other publishing. Yeah, but we're changing around stuff. The tool does not matter as much as the skill of you using the tool. I literally just purchased Secret Hacks. Hey, great to have you, Lance. Super excited. Looks like a baseball. Oh, that's funny. Does this work with Beachbody? Only if it has to do with network marketing or MLM. Not trying to be smart, it's just the reality. Great info. Make your product. Oh, maybe your product's better. Hey, Steven, do you review people's funnels? I used to. I don't right now, but the groups that I have, there's other people that do that as well. How do you make a funnel? I use ClickFunnels Penny. It's a great question. Content, you can get a free trial at freecftrial.com. Content from the marketplace on a similar product. Going fast, guys. Steve's training is solid. Make sure that you don't get signing object syndrome where you start thinking the 100 different courses and tools. Yeah, exactly. Jimmy, love it, 100%. What's the best for Beachbody coaches? This. I just went through it. Been following for Steve for 4 years. He's so clear. Been in network marketing 20. Grateful to have found him. Thanks so much, CEO couple. Appreciate that. Hey, oh, what's up? I didn't know that was you guys' name. What's up, guys? How you doing? What type of training do you offer? Secret MLM hacks. This. Just stay tuned to this. I'm sure I'll talk about that a little bit. PM me what MLM you're in. I'm a couple now, and I've been looking for a keto MLM. Hey, sweet. Reach out to us. How do you decide what person to sell in terms of most profitable or building your business around it, reseller, consumer? I focus mostly on recruiting, and then I give them product sales funnels after that. What's the difference between Secret Hacks and modern Downline? Oh, there's a big difference. We'll talk about that in the future as well. But yeah, there's a big difference. I see a lot of the bigs have a web page. I started one. I'm not sure how to be putting in my upline without my upline complaining. That's why I make it third party, because they can't complain. I mean, anyway, I've been trying to make the leap from home parties and digital for years. I really want to do this and help systems. Woo! It's Monday, baby. Absolutely nice. Enjoy the training. Nope. It's doing another class an hour and a half. I am. Can we still have access to Secret Max training course? It's closed for public access. Stay tuned with me though. It's closed. We closed it. We did a 3-week build up for it. I missed it. What he said about Beachbody. Sorry, my son is screaming. That's fine. This only works if you're network marketing or an MLM. I'm saying that. I'm not trying to be a smarty here. I'm just literally telling you that we're not talking about specific MLMs. This is a model for the industry. That's why it works so well. When it comes to ad money, do you personally know how to drive a Facebook ads? No, I hire that out. I have no idea how to do Facebook ads. What I'm good at is the model, and I'm good at being a marketer. Anyway, hey guys, I'm going to jump off here. I've been going for 2.5 hours. I'm going to stop, going to take an hour and a half break. I'll be back live again here. Come back to the same place that you were at 2 p.m. Mountain Time. I'm going to focus on sales message creation. Now that you've seen the who, you've seen how we actually treat MLMs. It's so different. Not every session is going to be this long. I just need to set a little bit of a foundation, but very excited. Thanks so much for joining. And I will, if you did like it, please let us know. We'll see you guys. Bye.